Alrighty, what is up, everybody? Welcome to the Misfits Haven. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a drink. We're serving whatever is in your fridge. For me, that's water today because I need hydration. We have our good friend Sabby here with us today, as we tend to do for streams like this.
Everyone.
Yeah, hope you're all having a good day. We just came off of watching Simon actually do an interview with Derek Stephen Prince. It was really, really awesome. Like, he's wanted to do an interview with the guy for like eons, and he finally made his dream come true. So I'm really, really proud of him. So, like, I'm just gonna shout him out in chat. I don't know if he's here, but I'm gonna shout him out anyway.
You rock!
So it's been an eventful day. Honestly.
Check out at Simon Uma on YouTube here now.
Yay! What's up, Simon? Welcome in. You did awesome today. Really freaking proud of you, dude.
Yeah, you crushed it. Like I told you already, and I'll say it here. You crushed it.
Legitimately. Oh, good.
Simon
the subtitles are picking you up.
Said you summoned. I think you know what's up. LOL.
Indeed.
Thank you both.
Yeah. For sure.
Your spirit, your confidence.
You did awesome. Also, Logic, don't think I didn't see you. What is up, my dude? I need to pull up my notes because I made a note like forever ago with all our questions that at least were submitted to it or to us. So I'm gonna look for that. Because I know it was somewhere. I know I posted it also in my Discord. There it is. I found it.
Tiff B. Said Simon was an absolute champ today. Our little Quincy / Shemai / Peregrine's all grown up.
Indeed.
He did awesome. So, welcome to this. This is not the first time we've done a Q&A surrounding blindness, but I wanted to do this a couple of weeks ago because October was Blindness Awareness Month, so I'm late, but that was because I got sick.
Said thank you, Tifa.
Also welcome in, Tifa. Love you guys. But yeah, I got sick, so this is late. I also just realized my VTuber is not in motion. Give me a moment. Let me hit the buttons. There you go. I hit the buttons. I opened the apps, but I didn't hit the buttons. And I'm like, well, what was the point of opening the apps then? It's fine.
So many things to do. Many things to do.
You know, sometimes you
Logic
get excited
Pro
and
X
you forget
Gaming.
to do stuff.
Saidest fast.
That is the thing.
Simon Uma. Said I'm here for your Q&A too.
Heck
God
yeah.
luck.
So, I do have a bunch of questions already prepared that some people sent in ahead of time, and some I looked for online just to find some common questions that were generally asked by people. But if you have your own questions, do not hesitate to post them in chat. We're here to do our best to answer. So, you know, one thing I will say ahead of time is our answers may not be like 100% accurate for 100% of blind people, mainly because, and this will probably be a thing that we reference a lot, vision is a spectrum. So one person's experience is going to be very different from someone else's. So keep that in mind as we go forward. I suppose...
Logic Pro X Gaming. Said how often do you clean your cane? If you use one.
Oh! How often do I clean my cane? Okay, honestly, not very often. I don't really need to, usually. Most of the time when it gets dirty, it's just like the tip. And once that gets dirty, that's permanent.
Yeah, the only time that I clean my cane is when it absolutely is necessary.
Logic Pro X Gaming.
You're walking around in mud.
Said think about all the places you sit
you
your
fall
cane
in the
when you're
mud
not
or
using
you're
it, and
working
then you
out of
just
the mud
pick
or
it up in
whatever.
your hand again.
Then I'll clean the cane. But most of the time, general wear and tear, nah, that thing will
Yeah,
be what it is.
like obviously if something gets on it that I can clean off, I'll clean it off, but I don't have like a regular cleaning routine. Mainly because I don't go out very often anyway, so it doesn't tend to get particularly dirty. Except for obviously like the tip of it. I actually just replaced my tip recently.
19 said hello.
Hey, welcome in. How you doing today? But yeah, I recently just replaced my cane tip. I got the Pathfinder 360. It's that that ball that rolls forward and back as well as side to side. It's very fun, and honestly, it's a really good tip. I used it for like several hours one day, and I came home and there was like not a scratch on it. I'm like, that's crazy. Because normally with the tips I use, I usually end up like the thing is already dinged up by the time I get home.
Said Hoyo. Yukimarshi 19
Yeah,
said doing good, just played some Fortnite with some friends.
Right on, right on.
Logic Pro X Gaming
totally.
said I want one
Yeah,
of those so
I
badly, but
lovingly
they don't
refer
offer
to
the
my
hook
cane as
style
my
attachment in my cane
weapon
size. Aramatarbo
because
said it's been a
I
while.
am not exactly light when
Aramatarbo
it comes to walking and tapping.
said how's everyone
so
bit?
Aram, it has definitely been a while. We've been pretty good. I'm surprised they don't offer that style in your size, because I was just able to order it just regular and it was fine and it fit perfectly.
Well, canes for tall people. That's a drama. I'm 6'6".
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
Logic Pro
I am
X Gaming
6'6", and it's supposed to
said
come to my
once your
chest.
cane passes 68 inches you can only use slip-on style tips.
Oh, that's lame. That is unfortunate.
Yeah.
Mine is like, I think mine's in like the 50s. Mine is like
Yeah,
in the low to mid 50s. I forget the exact number.
I'm somewhere 68 to 72.
That sucks.
Logic Pro X Gaming said I use a 72.
I didn't know that they stopped offering certain styles after a certain height. That is unfortunate. I genuinely didn't know that was a thing.
I think my cane is a pencil tip, actually. Let me
Fowler
see.
Glitter 86
Ew, a pencil tip? No.
said hello.
Girly.
Yukimarshi 19
Yeah, it's
said
a
I like the
pencil tip.
Minecraft background.
And it
Thank
actually is. It actually does alright for being a pencil tip, because of my roughness, I have been known to literally break and tear up mushrooms or balls or whatnot. So
I see. Well, I mean, if it's working for you, it's working for you. I
Logic
can't hate.
Pro
I
X
just
Gaming
personally don't like them very much.
said I have to use a pencil tip because the longer your cane gets the harder it is for the elastic to hold onto it, and all of the other tips are too heavy.
Fair enough. That is rough.
That's fair, but it's also my style. Like I said, I'm not gentle, so I don't use a cane. I use a gavel, so to speak.
Oh my goodness.
But again, that's just a demonstration of the spectrum of not only blindness, but people in the blind community.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I can see
Fowler
that my
Glitter
subtitles
86
are being funky again.
said we were
Great.
talking about
Love
canes.
that. Indeed. But yeah, like, to answer the actual question, I don't clean mine very often. I probably should clean it more than I do, but like, I don't feel the need to most of the time.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Drill _to_the _heavens said howdy. Logic Pro X
What's up,
Gaming
Drill?
Hey, Jill.
said think about all the places you put your cane when you're not using it and then you just pick it up again.
No, I hear you. I do. Legitimately, I hear you. I'm just like, most of the time I don't really put it in gross places and things like that, so I don't like, it's either that or I'm just holding it and stuff. I very rarely let go of my cane when I'm out in public. Either that or I tie it to my waist and stuff. I don't usually put it down anywhere. Like, I imagine it still gets
Drill
dirty
underscore to
regardless, but,
underscore the underscore
you know.
heavens. Said
Yeah,
I see we have a guest.
if I'm putting
Hello
my
floating
cane
Discord
down, it is
icon.
either in my bag for my medical procedure, or it is not going to be on a table or the floor.
Yes,
So
Drill, this is Sabby. She's hanging out with us today to answer questions. But yeah, we have a few common questions that I found online that I didn't really put in the order I wanted to tackle them in. Because there is one in particular that I want to get out of the way.
19
oh boy.
said, are these questions from the Discord we asked?
Yes, so I did post the list in the Discord, and you can ask more in chat if you have more. But there is one question in particular that I really, really, really want to get out of the way. Right? And Sabby, I think you know the question.
I have ideas, but go ahead and make my face cringe. Why don't you?
All right, y'all, picture this scenario, right? You're walking along and somebody shows up, starts waving their hand in front of your face, just
Oh, God.
out of fucking nowhere, just out of nowhere, and they're like,
Simon
"How
Umar
many fingers am I holding
said,
up?"
I think I do. Please get it out of the way.
Yeah, how many fingers am I holding
I
up?
got a
Like,
story for this. I got a
So-
story for this. Go ahead.
so, first of all, I'm going to give you the the quote unquote correct answer, and then I will give you the genuine answer. Okay? So the correct answer is it depends, because sight is a spectrum. Not everyone can see the same things.
Fowler Glitter 86 said, this makes me so angry.
Exactly why I'm getting it out of the way, Amy.
Totally.
Um,
Yep.
So again, it's a spectrum. Not everyone's going to see the same thing. Some people will see your hand, other people won't. Other people won't be able to see your hand when it's fucking moving.
I would be one of those people.
The genuine answer is fuck you. That's how many.
Well, that's one way of putting it.
Listen, as
Yeah.
the only way I can see that question being like a legitimate okay question to ask is like if you're at an eye doctor and they're like, okay, I'm testing your vision. How many of this thing do you see, or whatever? Like, I still don't
Yeah,
love it, but
totally.
they're asking for medical purposes. But if you're out in fucking public, do not
Logic Pro X
do
Gaming
not do this.
said, how many fingers am I holding up? However many you want broken.
Exactly.
But you know what? You know what? To that
Exactly.
point. To that point. So I was in the 5th grade, and I was standing in front of the art room,
Fowler
ready to
Glitter
make the
86
corner to the cafeteria, which is
said, I
irrelevant
like the
to the story.
genuine
That just
answer
tells
at
you where I was
Logic
standing.
Proximing.
And somebody walked up to me, asked me that famous question, and I said, clearly you need to chop them up because they are of no use to you. Shockingly enough, I never got asked that question again.
I never got to tell the mall story the last time we had a stream like this about disability.
Yeah, tell that
I
story.
never got to tell that story. So there was one day I was walking with my mom and her friend because we were out shopping for a prom dress for her daughter. And I just happened to be with them because honestly I was bored. I had nothing better to do. So I was like, sure, whatever, I'll go out with you just to kind of be not in the house. So we're walking through the mall. We're just talking, minding our own business, right?
Said at Logic Pro X Gaming, how many fingers am I holding up? How many do you want to keep?
Exactly. I'm so glad you all understand. So we're minding our own business in the mall, right? And this dude, I still remember, it was this tall dude wearing mostly blue.
Tater 35
He had
said, how many rocks
he
can
had,
I throw at you before you catch one?
So this dude, I remember him very clearly. He was wearing mostly blue. He had a big afro and stuff like that. Dude comes up to me just on my left side and starts waving both hands around. He's like, "Hi, hello, can you see me?" And I was just prepared to ignore him, but my mom snapped in that moment and she challenged him, and he tried to accuse her of being mentally insane. But he was the one walking away because we were all like,
Fowler
dude,
Glitter
what is
86.
wrong with you?
Said at Tater35 prefer to get them thrown back.
No, because it's just such a rude, disrespectful thing to do. Like, just don't do
Yeah, it
that. Don't do that. The
19
answer is going to vary, but
Said,
don't be an
can
asshole.
I still ask about question in the Discord quickly?
You can put them in chat so that we can actually see them right here.
Yeah, and also
That's the whole point of this stream.
The other cringe-worthy question, which is why I did not
Logic Pro X
commit
Gaming
to one immediately.
said, how many of you have been
one
asked
that
how you clean yourself?
Many
I've
absolutely can
yeah.
appreciate, but
Fowler Glitter 86
I absolutely hate when a patron.
said, what an asshole. I'm so sorry,
If you
Min.
see a blind person walking along the street or the curb or whatever, and you approach them, do not, and that's a capital do and a capital not, reach out to grab them.
Oh yeah, no, I will fucking deck you if you do that.
Do
And
not.
I'll tell you,
On
and
a
I'll
good-
tell
on
you
a good
why.
day, I will pull out. On a good day, I will pull away. But if it's one of my bad days, yeah, you're getting punched.
Because, and I'll tell you why, right? Because the question I have to ask any sighted person that thinks it's okay to do that is, how would you feel if someone approached you from
Yukamashi
behind
19
and did that? Like, how would you feel
Said, how
if a
difficult is it to
stranger...
go round the house if it's dark everywhere?
If you know the territory, you can get anywhere. Also, if you're talking about people who can't see, it's kind of like
Yep.
almost always dark anyway. So, like,
Yeah.
it's just like going
Yep.
around anywhere else, you know? Especially if it's an area you know, then you're going to know where things are. You're going to know how to get around and stuff. You're not just going to rely on your sight.
Tater
It
35
always...
said, I'm gonna move your table 1 inch to the left.
Don't be
Logic
that
Pro X
asshole.
Gaming.
Do not be that
Said, it's so
asshole.
No.
funny whenever
no,
I stay at my
definitely
parents'
not.
house because every time somebody gets up to walk around they have to turn the lights on and it wakes me up every time.
Yeah,
Fowler Glitter 86
I get that.
Yeah,
said, I
and-
can get
and
around the
that's,
house
you know,
the same in the day and the night.
to the familiarity point. Indoor, I only use my cane in public because
Yeah.
in the
Tater
house
35 said I should move
because I
Logic's
know
home
my
base
way
on
around the house.
Blindcraft 1
I
block
basically
over.
use bumpers to protect the essentials, but as far as navigation goes, I know where I'm going. I know what to expect. So
Yeah, like, so me and my house, right? I know where everything is because I'm
Simon
the one that
Amott
put it there.
said I rarely use lights
You
in
know?
the house unless I'm reading or doing a stream like today.
That is fair. But yeah, like,
yep,
you know,
that's really fair.
if you're living in a place, chances are you're going to be the one who puts stuff where it is, right? And if you're living with other people, you're going to take time to explore it and learn it and stuff like that because, you know, when you can't rely on your eyes, you have to rely on everything else. I
Simon
will
Amott
never understand people that just
said
rely
the
on their
interview
eyes.
stream was the only time I had the light on in my room since I used a webcam for the first time on stream.
Fair enough.
Fowler Glitter 86 said I don't need
just the
light, which is
opposite.
why I get annoyed when people leave them on.
Like I
I'm
will
just-
personally use lights, especially for more precise things, just because that's the way I work. But not everybody does. Not everybody needs it. I will never
light-
understand. I will never understand
Logic
those that
Pro
rely
X Gaming
solely on their vision. I
said you're
don't
blind.
understand that.
How do you even
Oh.
leave the house? Tater 35
Same as you. Put one foot in front of the other.
said even as a sighted person I rarely care for lights to be on.
Yeah, I have not. Like I do. I'm currently in my room right now, just chilling because
Yeah.
that's what I do after tours. And I can guarantee that my light is off because light perception for me is a luxury. It is not a necessity. So if I don't need the light, why waste electric energy?
The only lights I have on in the house right now are from my devices, and I guarantee it's the same thing with my roommate right now too. Because we don't need it. We don't need it all the time. Like, I'll turn it on when I
Fowler
absolutely
Glitter
have to,
86
especially if I
Yeah.
drop
said, "At
something
Logic
and need
Prox
help
Coming, I
find
make
need
my
to find it or
anxiety
something.
shut up and I leave.
Aw.
Tater 35 said crazy that I recognize that build on your overlay.
Heck yeah,
Logic Pro X Gaming
it's a good build.
said me and my wife are both blind and now that we have a side daughter I keep having to remember to turn the lights on when it gets dark.
No, I get that.
That is a thing.
I-
That is a thing.
I used to always have to remind my brother to turn the lights on because my nephew was sighted. And
Yep.
my nephew's just sitting there in the dark going like, I don't know what's happening. And I'm like, bro, turn the light on. Turn the light on. Your son can't see.
Yeah, yeah, that happened with me and my
My brother's like
nieces and
sitting there like,
nephews
oh
too.
yeah, crap.
Oh yeah, totally.
There's this really funny video that I keep seeing online. It's one of those like Reddit stories where it's like, oh, I once had a professor who was blind and I
Tater
walked into his
35
class to do an exam.
Said reminder that when Logic had his
And-
kid, Lady Logic told me I can drop kick the kid.
Oh, I doubt
Simon
that
Amar.
happened.
Said my sister is always like, how can you guys sit in the dark?
How can you not sit in the dark?
I mean, I'm kind of in the dark right now.
So
Kind
so so the story goes, right, there was this dude who went in for an exam, right? So he walks into the lecture room, and the professor gives him the exam, and he goes near the window to fill out the exam. And there's like, oh, there was enough light in the window, I could see just fine. Only for the professor to freak out maybe half an hour later and be like, oh wait, you can see, and then he runs to turn the light on. And I'm
Well,
like,
As a teacher,
that
I
is
can appreciate
funny.
that.
That is
As a
fucking
teacher, I
funny.
can appreciate that.
Said my gaming
Or
room's
a
light
dream
is
teacher,
nearly
I should
always
say.
off.
Yeah, like it's just if we're not using our eyes primarily, we don't need as much light. That is pretty much it. We use our hands, we use our ears, noses if necessary.
We have noses.
Yeah. We have other senses that we can utilize, and you have them too. You have them too. So, you know, I'm always an advocate of, hey, you sighted people, learn to use your other things too, because you have them, and they are
Tater
just as
75
valuable.
Said my screens produce enough light to make my room bright enough.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm relying on. I have a 50-inch monitor, mainly because that's just what I got as a gift, so I decided that I was just going to keep it. Because why pay another couple $100 for another monitor when this one works just fine? It's a TV, but anyway.
Yeah, when I
It
was in
lights up my room.
college,
It's good.
when
It's
I-
fine.
when I was in college, I used to love to fuck with sighted people because as you know, we blind people know, we, in order to get from point A to point B or point A to point Z, we have to know about B through Y before we can even get to Y to Z. So it was always fun to ask them,
Fowler Glitter
do
86
you get from the
said
dorm
I was able to teach
the
my younger
admissions
siblings to
building?
use their other senses so they're more adapted. So that's cool.
Inevitably, they
Yeah.
would give me the sighted answer of, look to the left, see the buildings over there, and work my way over there. Now, for you all to know, I am in a snow zone. So, snow in the winter, you're not going to be able to see things as you would like.
I hate traveling in winter. I
Oh,
hate
God,
traveling
no.
in wintertime.
Oh,
It is
God,
the
like-
worst. I cannot tell where even when I'm using my cane, I cannot tell where the road is and where the sidewalk is. So I'm like, oh crap, where am I going?
No, it is nightmarish when literally I had to use the cane between my legs so that I could feel the grass on the one side with my feet and the sidewalk on the other with my feet. Now the problem was there were those little lamp posts
Yeah, you
by
just.
the entrance circles,
Yep.
so that became a whole thing.
Simon
And
Umar
then of course, if
said
you're
I
out
hate
in the
going
winter,
out
you
in
have to deal
winter
with
too,
ice.
and I live in Winter Peg.
And let me
Winter
tell you,
peg.
and let me tell you,
That's my favorite
There-
thing.
let me tell you, when you slip on the ice, your groin does not like it, and that is not fun. So
Listen, we
Do
already have
not
to deal.
recommend it.
We already have to deal with getting stabbed by our canes on a regular basis when they get stuck in things. Let's not
Yes.
add. Let's not add winter to the mix.
please, and rain for that matter too, because oh man, my favorite rain story was I was late to biology one night, different college campus.
Mm.
I was late to biology one night, and it was raining. So, because I kind of knew my way along the route, I basically
Drill underscore to underscore
ran across the
underscore
parking
heavens.
lot, or ran across the
Said
street.
so what I'm
I know,
hearing
not
is
dangerous,
that you'd like the
not dangerous at
tropics.
all. And I was supposed to turn right, but when I turned right,
Fowler
there was
Glitter
a
86
sign that was waiting for me.
said Jesus Christ Sabby.
So I run across the street, and I'm about to get settled in, and all of a sudden, yeah, that
Girl,
was the sign
what?
smacking me in the face and stabbing me in the collarbone. Good times, good
Ooh,
times.
you know what? You know what I dislike about walking just down sidewalks in general, regardless of season?
Yeah.
When you
What?
come across those properties where they haven't really taken care of the trees, so they're just overgrown to the point where the
Fowler
branches
86
are below face level,
said people.
and you don't see them,
Now,
Tater
and you
35
get smacked in the face.
said should I make a
now
texture
you
pack
said
that adds
that,
a
and
3D
you
model of a
are
blindness cane as a
what?
sword?
5'7", 5'8".
I want to smack people around with a cane. Yes, please.
Imagine being 6'6" in that same situation.
Yeah, no,
That is not tossed salad that I enjoy.
I'm 5'10" and I run into that a lot. It's just, and there's
Tater 35
a place near my
said I
house.
can definitely do that for you all to have.
That would be so much fun.
Logic Pro
I would
X
love that
Gaming.
so much.
Said CB already made one.
Did he really? That sounds awesome. I want this in my life.
Tater 35
Anyway, so
said CB made a lame 2D one.
I see. So there's a place near my house that is it was a house that was converted into a therapist's office. But they kind of just let the plants grow. Like, the building is like half covered in ivy and stuff, which is not good for the structure and things. But the problem for me is that a lot of the bushes just go onto the sidewalk, at least cover a quarter of the sidewalk. So it's like you can get around it just fine and stuff like that. It's not the worst thing ever, but like I still end up bumping into it every single time because I just don't see it, and it's just a wall of bush that I just get smacked by bushes. And there's another spot further down the road that's very similar, and I'm just like, y'all trim your hedges, man. Like
Which now this makes me think of another mobility story. So this was one of the rare times that I went on my own to Walmart.
Fowler Glitter
And I
86
came back
rolled a
from
D20
Walmart
and got a 2.
and I
Nice.
bought one of those. Boombox speakers,
Tater
the
35
ones where you had to literally set
said
it
I
up.
think Amy
and
dies.
it was 2 speakers on either side of the radio. Pretty much, that thing was so big that I basically had to carry it without my cane.
mm,
That thing was long. It's probably, I don't know, a foot tall and 6 inches across, maybe, whatever. That thing was big. So, get off the bus, and because of the way of things, I did a quick step down onto the curb, but I was not able to reset in time.
mm.
So I walked up and kept going and ran smack into the side of the stone wall.
Yikes.
Yeah, that wasn't good. That wasn't fun. And then I had to make my way to the dorm, which thankfully I did.
I have another continuation to that, but I'm gonna wait until the ad break is over before carrying on.
Gotcha.
Because like, it's just man, there's just a lot of things that I don't like about traveling out in public with just people doing things. A lot of people just aren't as attentive to the
Logic
world around
Pro
them
X
as I think
Gaming
they should be, but
Said I'll never forget the time I wouldn't let my guide dog sniff something, so when we were walking into a building he ran me into the side of the door on purpose.
oh no!
Doggy's like, dang it, I'm a dog.
Oh, he
First and
was
foremost.
mad. I
Tater
hope you were
35
okay. I hope you didn't get hurt.
Said deserved logic.
I hope you didn't get hurt, because that... Holy shit, dude.
Yeah. I would love to have a guide dog, but that's a whole complicated situation. Because my hearing's
That
not
is-
reliable enough.
Yeah. Okay. Welcome
Fowler
back
Glitter
from the
86
ads, everybody.
Said wow, jackass move from the dog.
Legitimately, that's... I hope you didn't get hurt, Logic. That sounds rough. But the thing I was gonna say to continue on what Sabby was saying was like another thing I hate is when like there are just obstacles on the sidewalk in general. Let's
Yep.
see, cars halfway parked on the sidewalk so that you have to walk into the road to get around them. That's unsafe and just awful. Like honestly, just park in the street at that point. People with those, you know how some towns will have like those public
Howler Glitter
scooters that you can
86
use just
said I
Yep.
love it when my foot slips into a grate.
ooh, that's not fun either. Those are annoying too. Um, those scooters, those stupid scooters that sometimes like cities will let you use. Some
Simon
people
and
will
Ma
just leave them in the middle of the
said
fucking
stupid
sidewalk.
grocery carts left everywhere.
Also
I
that,
hate them.
Yep.
just don't leave things in the middle of the fucking walkway. Put them off to the side, please, please. It's just I hate it. I hate bumping it. I bump into them
Oh,
all the
God.
time, and I'm like, you are asking for someone to get hurt. You are asking for someone to get hurt. Please just put them off to the side. It's not that difficult, but they just hop off of them and leave them there, and I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? I've seen people do that.
Simon and Ma
I've
has
legitimately
resub.
seen people do that
Thank you.
with oh shit,
yeah.
thank you so much. I've legitimately seen people do that where they leave them in the middle of the nowhere right next to a bike rack. Right next to one. And I'm like, is it really that hard to just move it over to the for fuck's sake, do you
Logic
mind?
Pro X Gaming.
And
Said
then, of course,
drivers,
there's the-
if you're trying
there's
to
the
signal for a
great,
blind person to do something, please don't honk.
movable
I know a
object
lot of
known
people
as
that has
people
frightened very
who
badly
would
or told
rather
them that
pay
they're about
attention
to
to
do
their
something
lover.
Hang on,
when
Sabby,
the
hang
driver
on.
was just telling them to cross.
Hang on, Savvy.
Tiff said this.
So
Even as an able-bodied person, it frustrates me to no end seeing e-scooters / bike left lying around.
Logic
Like,
brought up
come
something
on.
awesome.
Put them aside safely.
I agree 100%, Tifa, but Logic brought something up that's awesome. Drivers, do not honk when you're signaling blind people that it's okay to. You're cutting off our sound. You're cutting off what we need to listen
Oh,
to,
absolutely.
and it's terrifying. Because I'm like, well,
Absolutely.
now I don't know what's around me, so I'm not moving, and then you're just gonna keep honking to tell me that I'm good to go? Like, no, stop, please, stop. You're cutting off everything I need. You're making it so much harder for me to travel when you're just honking.
If you're gonna use audio, use your voice. Roll your window down. Use your voice.
I mean, there's that, or just, let us figure it out. Because sometimes that happens to me when I'm just trying to learn the pattern of that particular street. So, like, I'll wait an extra cycle or two sometimes when I'm traveling, just so I know how the traffic flows. Because sometimes, there are different types of intersections. So I'm like, okay, I got to figure out what type it is, right? So I'll just wait and listen for a bit. And then I'll get some dude just honking for a while. And then sometimes they'll open the window and yell at me. And I'm like, I'm not going. You're making it unsafe.
Yeah, no,
Like, you're
no,
not,
totally
that's
fair.
not helping. You're cutting off the information I need to gather. You're making it impossible for me to access that info because you're drowning it all out. And it's terrifying. Like, I'm not moving if you do that.
Yep. And also, people,
Logic
for the
Pro X
love
Gaming
of everything,
said, don't you
Can
love
we
it when
cut out
people
the
come up to
PDA?
you and grab you when
Like,
you're about to cross the
if
street
you know
because they
there are
want
blind
to?
people headed your
How?
way,
Oh, I hate that
move
too,
to
Logic.
the side. Move to the side.
Yeah. And once again, do not grab people. I don't care who it is.
Fowler Glitter
Like,
86
the only situation.
said, not to mention you really shouldn't try to rush someone who's already crossing the street.
Also that. But the only reason I can see grabbing someone out of the blue would be okay is if you're like pulling them out of traffic, like they're already, like there's an oncoming car about to hit them type of situation.
Yeah, if it's life or death,
But
okay, grab me out.
if you're in a situation where you're like, oh, I see a person who might need help, don't just grab them. Talk to them. Ask them, hey, do you need help? Is there anything I can do to help? What can I, how can I help? Don't grab them until they tell you it is okay for you to guide them. And even then,
Absolutely.
you do it on their terms. You let them tell you what they need. Because, like, again, how would you feel if someone randomly approached you from behind and just grabbed you to try to
Howler
steer you
Glitter
toward a
86.
place that they thought you were going.
Said at Logic Proximing, oh yeah, we're
But,
so
like-
helpless we can't cross the freaking streets.
Like,
Tiff
legitimately, I had someone
Said
do
out
that
of
to
danger.
me.
I get it. But
Yeah.
don't just grab them without consent.
I had somebody do
Logic
that
Pro
because they
X
thought I was
Gaming.
going in a different direction.
Said hashtag just ask don't grab.
Exactly. Like, literally somebody tried to bring me in the opposite direction of where I was trying to go, and I was fighting them on it. I'm like, let go of me, what the fuck are you doing, right? And they were like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm trying to help. I'm like, first of all, I'm not even going that way. Second of all, like, don't touch me. I don't like being
Yeah.
touched just in general. So I really don't like being touched without my consent at all. Like,
yeah, I don't
it's
mind
just...
being touched in general.
That is
Right.
no, it's like, especially when you're out in public. I'm like, I don't know you. I don't know what your intentions
Exactly.
are. You just grabbed me out
Yep.
of nowhere. I'm gonna fucking deck you.
Yep.
Because at
Yeah, I
that
don't
point,
mind
it's
being touched.
self-defense.
Yeah, exactly. I don't mind being touched in general, but no, if I'm trying to navigate, and me who is a heavy, as I like to call myself, or deaf blind, which would be the official term. So my hearing is 20% less to 80% less, or depending on if I have my hearing aid or not.
Right.
No, bro, don't grab me.
I mean, regardless, don't grab. If you want to help, ask. We can communicate just fine.
Yeah.
We can talk. You can talk to us. We can talk to you.
Yep.
Just ask. Just, you know. And
Fowler
if
Glitter
we say
86.
no, if we say
Said
no,
I
thank you,
dislike
or
being
whatever it
touched in
is.
general, so I'd be pissed
Leave
if
it.
someone did that to me.
Exact. We're
Tiff
we're
Tiffy.
like,
Said you grab me.
We're the
Had
same
a
on
knuckle
that.
sandwich as a treat.
yes. Normally, I wouldn't advocate for violence, but at that point, that's self-defense. You know, like I wouldn't say
Absolutely.
like hit them as your first thing, but like, you know, defend yourself if you feel the need. You know. But like, I'm just saying, like, it's terrifying. Don't do it. Same goes for like people in wheelchairs and stuff. Don't just grab their chairs. Just don't grab people.
Their chair is their chair. It is not something easy for you to access.
Like, just don't grab people, maybe. You know, just in general. You know? I
And
think,
while we're at it, I know Logic will appreciate this, but that cute little furry four-legged friend is not for you to pet.
yeah, don't touch service animals without permission either. Because they are working, and they are trained to do that job. Don't distract them on the job. If you want to pet them, you ask their,
The owner.
you ask the owner, you ask, you know, it's like, hey, is it okay if I do this? If they say no, you respect that. No means no.
Logic Pro
Like-
X Gaming. Said I'll be nice if you touch me, but I'll curse you out if you pet her to try to distract my dog while it's working after I've warned you.
Yeah, fair enough.
That is a thing.
That's fair.
I feel that.
That is fair. Sorry, I needed water right there. Jeez.
Nah. So basically, just ask, don't touch.
Yeah. And if someone says, oh yeah, it's okay for you to do this, then you know for that person, right? But like, always ask before you do anything like that. Just, we're people.
But even
Maybe communicate with people, you know?
But even if we have given you permission, next time around, just identify yourself before you grab.
Yeah. Don't just be like, oh, that's licensed to do it randomly next time. No. No, it's not. That is licensed for you to do it that time.
Yep.
Because you've been given consent. But if you're not given consent next time, still don't do it until you get you ask every time. Ask every time. Do not touch another person unless they tell you it's okay in that moment. Next time, ask again. Boom. It's not as difficult as a lot of people seem to think it is, because like I've a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't understand what blindness is and think that, oh, you can't see, so maybe you can't really communicate, you can't for whatever reason that's tied to how your brain works. For a lot of people, for some weird reason, it's not. But, like, a lot of people seem to think that also affects your intelligence. Which,
Yeah. That is a whole
people
can of
can
worms.
have multiple disabilities, but I'm just
Logic
saying
Pro
blindness on its
Gaming.
own does not affect your
Said you
intelligence.
don't have to yell at me, I'm blind, not deaf.
Also that, yes. Also
In
that.
your case, yeah. Yep.
Yep, I've had people do that too, where they'll raise their voice at me and be like, "Oh, I just want to make sure you can hear me." I'm like, "My ears work just fine. It's my eyes that don't." Like, I'm good. I know you're there. It's fine. It's fine. Part of me does want to switch gears though to a question that I
Fowler
don't
Glitter
personally get
86.
very often.
Said I used to have a shirt that said I'm blind, not deaf.
I love that. I love that.
Totally.
But yeah, I do want to switch gears to
Girl
another question I don't get very often.
_ heavens. Said that's some I can't hear you. It's dark logic.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. But the question I want to switch to, I don't get it very often personally, but apparently a lot of people have, and that is, do blind people dream? Again, these questions are
Oh yeah,
not
that's a
in,
thing.
they're not in, like, any particular order, so we're going to be jumping around a lot, to be honest. The short answer to that question is yes, blind people do in fact dream. Whenever I
Fowler
dream...
Glitter 86. Said LOL what?
Yeah, apparently a lot of people ask that. A lot of people don't really know how that
Now,
works.
see, I don't mind that question because that question is not a function that can be easily be seen. So do blind people
Yeah,
dream?
like, I'm not offended by the question at all. I'm confused by it because I'm like, wait, we dream, it's the same as anyone else. But I think what a lot of people are asking more is like, you know, what do you see in your dream? And the answer will vary a lot. Because when I dream as though I'm watching like a show. Usually.
Drill _ to _ the _
I don't
heavens.
often dream in first
Said
person.
my dreams are often framed almost like movies, so does the visual aspect remain?
Yeah, like for some of us,
Okay.
yes. For some of us, yes. Like for me, that's definitely close to how that works. And I'll see whatever
Tater 35.
detail I would see if I was watching
I think
a movie.
it's a good question as dreams aren't fully
Whereas
understood
for
by the
me,
average person.
I am
Yeah.
the star of the. For me, I am the star of the show. So I will be dreaming basically as if I'm living in the world, or first-person perspective. And if I know how the person looks, then I will see them in my dreams. Yes, I am visually impaired in the real world, but I have night vision, aka dream vision.
Yeah.
So I will see in my dreams. And even if I don't know exactly how somebody looks, I will give what my impression of them is. So, like, for example, obviously I've never seen many, but I know enough details that I can
B. Said
add
they
up.
seem
I
to
can
think it's
give
like, do
my
androids
brain
dream
a
of electric
satisfactory.
sheep?
Okay, this is many.
Anybody can dream, as imagination can be influenced by
Or-
all senses.
This is true.
Yeah, that is totally true. Or if Tifa would happen to pop into my dream and I have no idea what she looks like, then I'll probably just go on what I would imagine a British to look like, and or go on what the voice says.
I'm sorry, that's
dangerous,
funny.
But which is dangerous, but that's the blind life. But I am somebody who lost my sight at 8, and many obviously technically haven't lost their sight. They still have it.
I still have some,
But I
yeah.
do-
Resubbed.
But I do know
Aw, thanks,
my
Tater.
ex-wife. But I do know that my ex-wife, who was born blind, she doesn't dream like we do.
Yeah.
She basically dreams off of her other senses, so sounds and smells and stuff. So
I've
it's a spectrum.
heard a lot of people who've lost their vision later in life.
Simon Umar.
Like, you know, when they lost
Said I
it
had my
as a
bad sight
teenager and
since I was
adult.
born.
They will often have visual based dreams because a lot of that information comes from, you know, their memory and perceptions of things, and
Exactly.
that'll obviously
Yeah.
warp and change over time because memory is just recalling things, so it's always reconstructed.
Yeah.
You will never recall anything the exact same way as it actually happened because
Nope.
your brain just rebuilds that every time. So it'll
Fowler
warp and
Glitter
change over
86
time
rolled a
kind of
D20
thing. And
and
then
got
I've
a
heard,
19.
you know, people who've lost their vision early in life will often have a lot of audio based dreams. So it's like there's not a lot of
Yeah.
visuals, but sometimes visual stuff will happen. And, you know, and again, for someone who's had no sight at all, oftentimes there's nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's just sound and stuff like that. Dreams are based on your imagination and your perceptions of things and how your brain interprets that and sends that at you when you sleep. So
Exactly.
anyone can dream in any way, in any combination of ways. And yeah, so that's the long answer.
And dreams be crazy. All
Yeah.
dreams be crazy.
Yeah. So that question is confusing to me as to why it's asked, but it's also just a fascinating one because dreams are fascinating. So, you know,
Fowler Glitter 86.
Oh yeah. As a
Said I
psychology
dream
lover.
a lot.
I don't remember
As a
most
psychology
of my
lover, I
dreams.
love me some dreams.
I have, okay, so I dream in two different ways. I dream either as though I'm watching a movie or as though I'm in it in real life. And when I have those types of dreams, I will see everything as though I'm like actually living in it. So I will see everything as blurry as I do in
Yeah.
real life and stuff like that.
Logic Pro X Gaming.
And those tend to be the ones
Said
I
if
remember
I've
the
heard
most.
someone's voice and never seen them, they just look like Minecraft Steve in my dreams.
That's the thing, Logic. Now, I do remember when I was a kid.
I love that.
I do remember when I was a kid. It was my favorite blind
35.
dream, which
Said I don't really dream.
a blind dream basically was a dream that I was doing everything I was supposed to do, but I couldn't see. Now the funny thing is, that was the only time in my life that I literally had two different perspectives.
I do have thoughts
So-
on what you just said, Tater, but I will get to that momentarily.
So I was the blind point guard for the Atlanta Hawks, and so I was part of the game, but also the dream character of me was narrating throughout the whole time. So, and then I wound up winning
Logic
a
Pro X
gift
Gaming.
certificate to.
Said the one
to
time
Blue
I
Chris
dreamed
Steakhouse.
about Tater before I met him, he looked like the Kool-Aid Man, but instead of being full of liquid, he was filled with fried tater tots.
Okay, that's funny, Logic.
That is the most surreal thing I've heard in my life. But Tater, my thought to what you said about not dreaming, everybody dreams, but most people don't remember them.
Nope.
I don't remember most of mine, but everybody does dream every night.
Fowler Glitter 86.
It's just a matter of whether or not
Said a
you
lot of people
recall
either
it.
don't remember their dreams or don't dream as much, or you dream less as you're older.
Yeah,
Tater
but everybody does
35.
still dream.
Said next time you come over my house, I'm making you dig a grave for yourself.
Just keep digging,
Just keep digging, yeah.
Fowler Glitter 86.
I found another
Said
bizarre
I've dreamed about
question.
y'all before at Logic Proximing at Tater 35.
I found another bizarre question that I thought I'd add to the list because apparently enough people ask it to be on like one of those most common questions blind people get asked lists. That's where I got a lot of these from.
Okay.
Do blind people blink?
Tater 35.
I feel
Said I
like
got shovels
that
and
doesn't
plenty
need
of
to be
holes that have been
justified
dug
with
in
an
the
answer.
past.
I'm just saying, it's like,
I feel like the only answer I can give you is like the only answer I can give you. Yes.
yes, we blink. Even if I don't close my eyes all the way, they still blink
Fowler
because
Glitter
blinking
86.
is
Said,
a
"I don't know, do we blink,
involuntary
y'all?"
protective thing to keep the stuff out the eye. Now there's a
Exactly.
YouTube video
'Cause,
about
like,
what happens if you don't blink. But
Blinking doesn't have to have anything to do with sight. It's protecting your eyeballs from
yep,
foreign things like
Yeah.
dust and dirt and such. So, short answer, yes.
I mean that like I said, it's interesting. It's interesting that it's in the dream question. It's semi-valid, but that one is definitely more
I
reactive for me than
I don't.
do blind
I'm
people
just
dream.
like, that one confuses me more than the dream one does, because I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
everybody blinks.
Yeah, why wouldn't we
So,
blink?
not offended by that one, but huh?
Tater35 said although your eyes don't send the data they gather properly to your brain still properly sends signals to your eyes to blind to protect them.
Yep,
Yep, absolutely.
Tiff-Tiff-Bee
indeed.
said insert naked gun facepalm scene here for that question.
Yeah. So how about we just slide on and
Logic
move on to
Pro
the
X
next
Gaming
question, which
said let me know if you've ever ended up in a sticky situation because of eye twitching.
oh yeah, I've definitely eye twitching is not fun. I get that usually when I'm dealing with a lot of strain and then it twitches like crazy and everybody like, are you good? Are you gonna like have a stroke or something? Like, nope, just my eyes.
Nah, I don't deal with eye twitching because
It's usually
my
my left
eyes
eye.
basically.
Tater35
I don't deal with eye twitching
said
unless
I often describble things in
unless
terms
there's
of
stuff
programming
that
if you
just
can't tell lol.
is being really annoying to the eye, then the eye would twitch.
Logic Pro X Gaming said I've been accused of staring at people just because I can't really control where my eyes settled if I'm not focused on anything. It's great.
I'm so glad. Okay, so I hate that happened to you, Logic, but like, I'm so glad you understand because I deal with that a lot too. I can't consciously control where my eyes go. My eyes just focus on whatever moves, and I just get drawn to that. I can't like consciously control them. So I often end up quote unquote staring at people without realizing it, and I'm like, especially when I'm kind of just spacing out. You know, so it's like, oh, that's awkward. Or those situations where, because I'm nearsighted, I have to put my phone really close to my face to see it. So a lot of people think I'm recording them. And I'm like, nope, just trying to read a message because I don't want to use voiceover in public because I always forget my headphones at home. You know. But anyway, let's slide along to our next question, which is, honestly, has an interesting answer to it, I feel like.
Said at Tater35 I got a higher number than you.
So the next question that I have here, and again, feel free to add your own questions in chat.
I've always been afraid of that, so whenever my phone is close to my face, I make it a point of wrapping my fingers around my camera lenses so people don't think that.
As do I.
Tater35
as do I.
Said, and I can see what's your point.
I do the same thing with my camera. Like I'll always have my right hand over it, which is not like a comfortable way to hold my phone, but it stops people from thinking that I'm recording them. So anyway, Next question. Do blind people see black? So
okay,
here's my answer to it before I let Sabby launch into her thing, right? It's kind of like plugging an HDMI into a TV. It's not really black, it's nothing.
Said I did
right?
a disclaimer
when you unplug it, your
hold
TV can't really show you things. It
Fowler Glitter 86
it looks black to you because that's how you perceive it.
Color.
But it's not black, it's nothing. It's like a lot of people say it's like if you try to see out of your elbow. Is it black? No, it just doesn't exist. That input just does not exist.
Logic Pro X Gaming said it's more like nothing if you're totally blind, and people have a hard time understanding nothing, which is why people don't understand how vast space is, because it's a bunch of nothing.
Yeah, it looks black because of how we perceive it, but it isn't actually black. It's just nothing.
Yeah, so as somebody who is basically broken on the left side of my face, but somewhat functional on the right side of my face, because that's just how it shakes out. That means that my left eye is completely blind, my right eye has light perception.
Yeah.
So
Fowler Glitter 86
if there's no light,
said when people ask,
I
tell them to try to see out of their hands. You can't.
But
yeah, that works too, Amy.
If we're dealing with the left eye, then it literally is just nothing. It literally is like
it just doesn't exist.
Logic Pro X Gaming.
It's basically an anesthesia for the
behind
eye.
them and ask them to stare at you through the back of their head.
When you get knocked out in surgery, you don't remember those 2 hours or whatever of surgery. It's the same thing with the eye. There's my octave nerve cannot perceive anything because it got
For
shredded.
yeah, for me, right? I I have vision in my right eye, so I
Tater
can see my
35
screen in front of me. My left
said
eye,
it's the same kind of reason why for the longest time the number 0 couldn't be understood by mathematicians for the longest time as humans struggle to understand the concept of nothing.
yeah, which is like crazy
Yep.
because like I feel like I understand it. But um, anyway, for me, it's not nothing for me because I still have light perception in my left eye. So if I'm focusing on it, I can see light. Otherwise, it is something that my mind perceives as darkness, but that is just the way my mind filters it out so it can make sense of it. It really is just
Yeah.
nothing.
Yep.
It just, it's kind of like trying to look so far to the right that you're seeing through your right ear. You can't do it because that's not a thing, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Or again, there's like that comparison of, oh, try to look through your elbow or see through the back of your
Fowler
head
Ritter
or
86
whatever other
said
thing
I used
you
to
can
have
think
light
of.
perception in my left eye.
Anesthesia for the eye.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, so it's not necessarily black, but you know, a lot of people perceive nothing as darkness, which looks black to them. So, eh,
It's nothing.
yeah, it's just nothing. It's the
Same
infinite
thing with
void.
deafness. Same thing with deafness.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. Although, at least in my mind, that's a lot more easy to simulate than the lack of sight is. Because like
Yeah.
some people will say, "Oh, it's like if you close your eyes, you're not seeing. Your input is cut off, but it's like you're seeing the back of your eyelids, so like that's not even.
Yeah. There's still black.
It's close.
Okay.
It's close. It's really close. It's probably the closest you're gonna get, but
Yep.
you know, it technically isn't." So, I mean, honestly, we could have that conversation all day.
Oh yeah. That's actually a fascinating question. Like you said, it's like, wait, how do you answer this question? Okay, I'm
I
here for this.
I have another question though that we can launch into that is very similar to the blinking one where I'm like, "Huh?" But it's, do blind people cry? Yes, for the same reason sighted people do. Like I'm not even
My
being a
kids are so
smartass.
messed
That
up.
is the answer.
Yeah.
It's like, yes. Yes, we do. For the same reasons you do.
I cry more than you because my tear ducts are messed up. So I tell people all the time, especially doctors, do not
Simonuma
use my
said I
eyes
cry
as
too much
a
lol.
pain sensor because my tear ducts are messed up. So I cry a lot. So yes,
Hmm.
we cry.
Oh yeah. And like honestly, I can't really give any longer answer than that. It's
Tater
just
35
it works the same as it does
said
for
are
you.
blind people real?
Yeah.
Are blind people real? Oh boy.
Logic Pro X Gaming said
Oh,
does a
boy.
bear maul its prey in the woods?
Yeah, we are real as the figment of your perception.
Does a bear maul its prey in the woods?
Well, I mean, if you want to go there,
yeah.
if you want to go there, if a tree falls in the wood but no one's around to hear it, that'll make a sound.
Well, somebody's around to hear it. Animals. It just doesn't.
Wow, that's actually a thoughtful answer that I've never heard before.
Yeah, a lot of people never think of that answer, but I'm like, honestly, yes, it would anyway, because sound is vibrations. It's just they don't get carried to people. They just, if no one's around, that sound might not get carried far enough to be heard, you know?
Yep.
But it still exists.
Look at Minnie playing
Tater
nice.
35
Look at Minnie crushing that
said
question.
if logic fell on the floor did I laugh? The answer is yes.
Wow.
Yikes,
Dude.
okay. Carrying on to your
Wow.
next question, Minnie.
Yes, let us do, because I think we have thoroughly dealt with that. Because like some of these really don't need long answers. Let's be honest.
Nope.
Do blind people have better hearing? Oh, that's one to come back to at the end of the ad break. Do blind people have better hearing?
Who are you asking?
I'm inclined to say no. Mainly because, right, we don't gain superpowers after losing our sight. There's that common like theory that, oh, your other senses get heightened to compensate. That's not necessarily the case. What happens is we pay attention to the other ones more. So we start to notice different things that really we were hearing the whole time, but we were previously filtering out. Kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it seems like it gets better, and you can train your ears a bit.
I've gotta go eat now and then drag away to Fa after. Have a good stream.
Enjoy your dinner, Simon. Thanks for hanging around.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, scientifically, no. Mini does not have better hearing than y'all do.
No.
Tater 35.
But
said how scary is getting submerged in water.
Because Mini or whoever else.
Oh, that's an interesting question. Sorry, keep going.
Have to pay attention to their environment, and they just it's a new tool. Then the hearing is more
drill
compensated
_ heavens. Said
the answer is yes and no, depending on how you define better.
Mr. Samara fights by feeling the bloodlust
and that's
in
not
the
a
air
cop
and
out.
attacking
That's just how are we defining better?
Yeah, like we're not gonna be Daredevil.
Said Blindness. I resemble that remark.
You resemble that remark. What's up, Armageddon Time? Welcome in. But yeah, no, we don't just gain like Daredevil like powers, as awesome as that would be. What we do is we pay attention.
Yep.
And through that, through practicing, basically using it, if you use it's kind of like developing a skill, you know? The more you use it, the better you get at it.
Logic Pro X Gaming said being submerged isn't scary. Getting tossed around underwater, however, is terrifying because if it's deep enough, not only do you use horizontal orientation, but you can lose track of which way is up and end up swimming deeper.
Oh yeah, that can get disorienting, yeah.
Saidman, I notice I'm not VIP, so rude of you, my so-called friend.
Listen, it's been a bit since I've updated that, okay?
That's a thing. That's a thing. But yeah, see, me being deafblind, I am jealous of the only blind folks, like Logic, like
it's been a bit since
Logic Pro X Gaming said, "Don't ever lose your footing at the beach."
Oh no, that's not fun. Yeah,
God no.
That's not fun. But yeah, no, just going under, just like if I'm at the beach and I decide to go underwater, like I know what's happening. It's not scary. But if for whatever reason I were to get carried away by the current or whatever, and I'm still underwater, that can get disorienting and scary.
Don't ever lose your feet at the beach. Yeah. Lots of foot stealers out there.
Lots of foot stealers
Tater
out
35
there.
said don't go to the ocean, then Logic.
And avoid the quicksand, please.
I have the tendency because I do not have a ton of muscle mass. I have the tendency to float anyway, so all I would have to do is try to get myself to like stop spinning, and I would eventually float back up. But still, the question is,
yeah, I'm a sinker.
The question started out as, do blind people hear better or have better hearing, and then it got into, we ended up getting talked about water.
Logic.
Why did Automod just get
said
drill?
I, on the other hand, do have a lot of muscle mass, so I sink like a brick.
Oh yeah, I'm 6'6", like
I'm gonna allow that because it makes sense in context. I don't know why.
_ the heavens. Said foot stealers, those sick perverts. Fowler Glitter 86.
Yeah, it got you for saying pervert, which, like, dude, that wasn't even a banned word.
Tater
anyway.
35. Sedman said she has a naturally high buoyancy.
I do have a naturally high buoyancy. I really do. I am not skinny. So I float. It's very hard for me to sink.
Our mage in time. Said not really a bad thing.
You know, I definitely need to get in shape and stuff like that. But okay, so getting back to the hearing question, the short answer is no, we do not have better hearing in a scientific sense, but we practice listening skills as we exist. And in that sense, yes, because we've
Tater
built up that
35
skill.
said
Which-
that could imply she is hollow or mostly just filled of air.
I am
Said,
let's
"Fuck,
just
I
say
want
I'm
Daredevil
plus sized,
powers."
alright?
Fowler Glitter 86
Let's just say I'm plus
said
sized.
it made me so happy as a kid, then I learned I didn't and I wasn't happy.
I feel that. I feel that.
Yeah,
But,
we got a couple of
honestly-
we got a couple of BBWs here.
Honestly, though, like, I still think, and even sighted people can build up that skill. That is not like a blindness exclusive thing. You can absolutely build up better, like, listening skills and stuff. All you have to do is just start paying attention to what you're hearing around you. That is not like a skill that exclusively blind
Swift
people
Simeon
have.
said hi everyone.
Swift, welcome in. How you doing today? So like, I can't stress that enough.
Fowler Glitter 86
Anything we can do, you can also
said
do.
at Swift Simeon hello. Our
Yeah,
mage
the
item
only
time.
thing that we can't
Said I
do
mean,
right now
super tasters are a
that
thing.
y'all can do is drive.
Super tasters
On the other
are
hand.
a thing, yes. Those are very rare exceptions, though. And that still is dependent on
Swift
like,
Simeon said
largely
to
your
anyone who
genetics
lost their
and the
sight,
way things
are
work.
roller coasters better or worse after?
Depends on the
Fowler Glitter
person.
86 said actually we can't see. And they can.
Well, okay. All right, you got me. You got me. You got me, Amy. That one legitimately stopped me dead in my tracks. But no, okay, so to anyone who lost their sight, are roller coasters better or worse after? That kind of depends, because I know plenty of people who
Tater
can't see at
35
all that
said
love
if you
them.
can't see, can I add your eyes
Oh,
to
yeah.
my collection?
Listen,
Oh yeah.
you can have my left eye. You can have my left eye. I'm keeping my right.
I'll give you my left eye as well.
I'll donate that one for science.
But no, I'm clinging to the little sight that I do have. So
Yeah,
you can
no.
have my left eye.
Tater
My left
35
eye lives rent free in my face.
said
You can
deal.
have it.
Our
But yeah,
mage
no,
item
I
time.
know plenty of people who
Said
are.
I've been on both sides of the sight spectrum. Rides of any kind are definitely just a different experience.
Yeah,
Better or worse is relative to your enjoyment. Fowler Glitter
that is
86
true. Yeah.
said you're gonna have to show me the collection next time I come over, Tater.
Yeah.
Because I know
so
plenty of
as-
totally
as-
blind people that are totally fine with it. I know others that are terrified, and I know plenty of sighted people on both sides that are
Tater 35
that either love it
said
or
they'll
are
tickle them
terrified.
and turn them into bouncy balls.
Ew.
Yeah. When I was a kid, and that branches both
Our
being
mage
able to
item
see
time.
and being
Said Tater,
relatively
you're a
new to
sicko.
sight.
I love it.
I did not care for roller coasters, and that had nothing to do with whether or not I could see them. That was just my idea of them. By the
Tater,
time I went to high school,
Tater is the true chaos gremlin in any community.
by the time I went to high school and we went on our senior trip, I was not going to be dragged onto a roller coaster, so I went to the Islands of Adventure, and my first roller coaster was the Hulk, and that was a fun time. And then I rode several other roller coasters, and I just loved it because for me,
Fowler
bring
Glitter
on the
86
thrill, bring on the adventure.
said
So,
I want to go to a roller coaster park.
I feel
I
like
would love
that's
to go
called a
back to
theme park.
Canada's. Depends. I want to go back to Canada's Wonderland one day. That would be so much fun. I haven't been since high school. I don't like rides that go upside down, just mainly
Tater
because it turns my
35
stomach and I feel like I'm gonna
Said we
vomit.
can take you to a park next time you
But,
come
like,
over, Amy.
As long
You know.
as long as I have my hearing aid secured, bring on the flippage.
I don't personally care for the flips, you know.
Bring on the flip.
But so like that one's not necessarily dependent on sight. That's just
Fowler
more
Glitter
what you
86.
enjoy and what you don't enjoy.
Said at Tater 35. Yes.
I mean, for some people that fear might be based on sight. It really depends on the
Fowler
person.
Glitter 86. Said
Yeah,
I'd love
exactly.
that.
All right, how about we jump on over to the next question? I'm like deleting them as we carry on so that I can keep track. So let's go to our next question. We will be
Tater
done
35.
our commonly asked questions
Said he'll
soon.
let mom know that'll be the plan so we can remember to buy tickets and or passes.
Sounds like you guys are gonna have a good time. Okay, so here's one that does kind of annoy me. We're gonna get into a discussion that I have a story about, which I have told a few of you before, but have you tried glasses or LASIK? Okay.
So to be short about it, in my case, no, because my vision is so bad that glasses, LASIK, contacts, none of that shit works. So
Yeah.
I just wear sunglasses to keep people from staring at me. So my answer is no.
I tried glasses when I was younger. I was since told that there is nothing that can really be done to save any of my vision. I was told that there's probably not really any vision in your left eye in my left eye to save. So none of those glasses won't really do anything for me. LASIK won't do anything for me. Other types of surgeries won't really help out. It depends on the person. And it does always bug me when a lot of people just like default to that, like they think it's an overall solution. There is no one solution.
Nope.
And not everybody wants it either.
Nope. That's a huge point.
As much as
Glitter
I don't like this
Said,
question,
do you want to know how many people have asked me that? And how many things people tried to do to fix it anyways.
oh, just wait
I
until
hate
you
it so
hear.
much.
Just wait until you hear my glasses story. Just wait. It is a genuinely frustrating one.
Tater
Some of you have
35.
heard it before, but still.
Said if you bite down on an
And
eyeball,
we're not-
do you
we're not
think
gonna
there
get
will be a
into
juice that
the-
gets shot down your
the
throat as
church
your
member
bite?
that wants
So-
to save the blind member.
So,
blind
oh
church
yes, I
member.
have a story about that as well. But, so, again, sight is a
Fowler
spectrum.
Glitter
Everyone's
86.
condition is different. Not every
Said
solution is
Tater,
going to
you're
work
grounded.
for everybody. That is the short answer. So, the long answer for me is, let's be real, I was given glasses when I was younger and this is the short version of the story, and this is a legitimate thing that my eye doctor said in front of me to my mom. The reason I was given glasses was so that I could, quote unquote, hide the shame of being blind. The idea being that the glasses would distract people from the fact that my eyes wander. Even though the glasses made things harder for me to even function. So,
Fowler Glitter 86. Said what the hell?
yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's just say I never went back to see that dude. So, I've told that story many times, but yeah, so glasses, LASIK, other surgeries don't work for everyone. They work for some, not for everyone, and even then they don't always work 100%. So, that ties very heavily into the spectrum
heavens.
thing.
Said now that's a dick move.
Yeah, super dick move. Super dick move. And then I had those people that would like pray over me without my consent. First of all, just as a general spiritual rule, don't pray over people without their consent. Don't do that. It's so rude and disrespectful, especially if you're doing that to someone that doesn't believe what you believe.
Yeah.
And especially if they directly tell you no. Like, I've had people go, "Oh, can I pray for you?" No, I'm good, thanks. And they just start doing it anyway. Like, don't. No means no.
Nope.
No
Nope.
means no.
Fowler Glitter 86.
Yeah, I had a friend.
Also-
I had a
Said, and
friend.
that's traumatic.
Also, not everybody wants a quote-unquote cure. A lot of people are fine the way
No.
they are because there's nothing wrong with us. Our
Yeah.
eyes don't work, but
35.
we're still people. We can still
Said
function.
I am a start praying you spontaneously explode.
Usually, not always the case.
I would rather
but
you didn't,
usually-
Tater. I would really rather you
Usually-
didn't.
Usually, not always the case, but if a person's born blind, they don't know what they're missing, so they are perfectly happy as is.
Yeah, like
And
I
giving them
would
sight would actually wreck them.
I would personally like getting sight back, but at the same time I'm like, well, I'll
Yeah.
just roll with what I got because I have what I have and I'm lucky to have it, so I'm going to be grateful for it.
Yeah, I would love to get my sight back, but you know, it is what it is. That's a miracle. And to that point, I had a friend, former
Fowler
friend.
Glitter 86
He was a Christian.
said I want
We
to
were
always be
cool,
the way I am.
That's
but
fair.
he insisted on praying for me and actually putting his hands off of my eyes. It's like, bro, no, this is not cool. And what do you know? I still was blind, and it wasn't a faith thing.
It just is.
It just is what it is.
Yeah. The one thing that I can't stress enough when doing what I do online, just in general, is that there's nothing wrong with people having disabilities. It's just, it is what it is.
Hater
We just
35
are the way we are, and that's
said
it.
although you don't have vision out of your left eye, do your nerves still send pain signals for if you like stab your eye with a stick?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wait, what was that question?
Because that's just nerve endings. That has nothing to do with sight signals, right? If you poke yourself in the eye, regardless of whether or not you see it, you're gonna feel it, and it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt a lot.
Oh yeah. The pain is real.
Tater
It's
35
gonna hurt a lot.
said good, can I stab your eye with a stick?
I'd rather you didn't. Rather you
Yeah,
didn't.
no. Nah. If you want a reflexive way for me to slap you,
That is how you get
mess
decked.
with my eye. Mess with my eye.
If you did that, that would be a legitimate reason for self-defense, and you're getting decked.
And like I said, a reflexive way. Before I even think about it, I'm coming after you.
Said I'm so sorry, y'all.
It's all good. It is what it is.
No. You're totally fine. You're totally fine.
It is what it is. Sometimes you just
Hater
gotta roll with the rough
35
stuff, you know?
Said he'll take the risk.
I would
I'm just
prefer
saying-
that you not do it, bud. That is
I'm
the
just saying.
Canadian way of saying don't you fucking dare.
I'm just saying that you can take the risk if you want, but you better know how to run away.
Said no, I'm apologizing
Because my
on
hands
behalf
will
of
come up.
Tater.
And it will be looking
Nah,
for
don't
business.
worry about it, Amy. I know he's just dicking around. All right. How's about we head on to the next question, which has
Let's.
many answers. How do you get around? So there's the smartass answer, right? One foot in front of the
I
other.
know.
Trigger 35 said I want to see you add to the rules of the Geneva.
I'm not adding to the...
Fowler Glitter 86
I think Canadians have contributed
Wait,
enough
what?
to that. I think Canadians have contributed enough to that. Anyway,
This
so
is why America is great, y'all. Just remember that.
So we got the smartass answer. We get around same way as you. We walk around. The other answer is we'll sometimes use mobility aids, either guide dogs,
Fowler Glitter
white
86
canes,
said that Tater
Arms.
35 good one.
GPS. You know, I rely on GPS a lot when I'm out. It helps out because I
Tater
can't really see
35
street signs and stuff, and it's just
Said
a lot
never
easier.
enough Canadian war crimes.
But yeah, I mean, I use my cane to, like, you know, feel the ground ahead of me so that I
Fowler
am not
Glitter
stepping
86
into things like,
said I am a proud passenger princess.
Dog stuff.
you know, there was one time I was walking. This kind of ties into the whole running into obstacles while you're out kind of thing. I was walking one day. Sabby knows the day I was talking about when I went to update my health card that one day, and I was just walking around town because Google told me the wrong address. So I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm just going to explore, because I don't want to go for an hour walk to who the hell knows where. There was a pizza place that I passed by, and right in front of it, there was a little bit of a hole that was opened up in the sidewalk, and I think it led directly down into, like, the sewer system. But it wasn't like an open
Tater
grate.
35 said, do you think Canadians
It
would be
was-
the ones responsible for a rule that prevents combatants from using some kind of gas to make people go permanently lind?
I don't even know that I want to answer that. Um,
Like I said, remember, America is better than Canada. Remember that.
okay, yeah, no, we're not entering that debate. Um, we're not entering that debate.
It's a friendly rival. It's a
That
friendly
debate will,
rival.
yeah, but that will never end, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Yeah.
so the hole that I ran into, it wasn't like, you know, a big open sewer grate. It was like big enough that I could have, like, my foot could have fit in it. And
Yeah.
if my cane didn't find it first, I would have 100%
Tater35
sprained my ankle.
Said as a lifelong American, you're wrong.
What
Oh,
happened?
you fighting, Tater, you fighting. All right, your funeral, man. I mean, if you want to have that debate with Savvy later, you can absolutely do that off stream, but we are not doing it here.
Nah, we'll deal with American superiority later, for sure.
So, the other thing we could dive into is, you know, a lot of us will rely on stuff like public transit, and a lot of those now, I will use GPS usually when I have a lot of data on my phone, so Google Maps is a thing that I use a lot. But, you know, a lot of public transit now will announce what stop you're going to and things like that, and most cities will have relatively accessible websites. You can check the schedules,
35
things like
said
that.
the only bonus to America is we got better and more stable internet. That's my only thing I like.
Depends on where you're at.
Yeah, totally.
Uber is also an option, Uber, Lyft, or whatever, or literally asking a friend for a ride or something like that, you know. So, you know, lots of ways. We get creative.
And the one thing I would add is we also have our own brand of public transit called paratransit, which literally is.
That's not everywhere, though.
Yeah, no, it's not everywhere. Usually
Drill
in
_the__the
metropolitan area, usually.
heavens.
But
Said
it
don't get
basically
me
is.
started on the stuff that
It
frustrates me
depends,
about
at
my
least
state
up
alone.
here, in Ontario, it depends on the city.
Yeah, totally.
It's a municipal thing. It's not like a provincial or federal thing, which should be a federal thing, but what do I know? But yeah, there are some cities where you can literally get subsidized rides to
35
places and stuff.
Said we love to hate public transit.
Yeah, public transit is rough. But yeah, I mean, aside from all that, we're obviously, you know, when we're walking around, we're listening for the traffic around us, you know, using our canes to find obstacles. If we have guide dogs, we're relying on them to help us get around and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, traveling is a full awareness exercise. If you are not aware of the environment around you, and I don't understand why a lot of sight people don't do this, if you're not aware of the environment around you, you are going to run into things. You are going to potentially get hurt or bump into someone else, and they aren't going to be happy about it. Just be aware. Just be aware.
And again, to emphasize, indoors, if we're in public, usually that means we're going to be using the cane to get from point A to point B to point C to point D.
Yep.
And if we are in a familiar enough place, like a hotel room, dorm room, or house that is our own or our friends or whatever, then for me, I would use the bumper system, which has my right arm basically across my chest, and the left arm is swinging back and forth, protecting the goods, so that I get the information without getting hurt.
Yeah, that's fair. One thing I will also say, just as a PSA, if you're seeing someone in public that is using a cane, do not, under any circumstances, jump over that cane. I don't care if it's stationary or in motion. Do not jump over it, because if it's in motion, you are going to trip and you are going to potentially break the cane, hurt yourself, hurt the person who is holding the cane. It's just a bad idea. Do not do it. Do not do it.
Don't grab it either.
Also
don't
that.
grab it either.
Also that. But I've legitimately run into loads of people that are in such a hurry that they would rather just vault over the cane, and I've almost tripped them. In many cases, I've been tempted to trip them on purpose,
Tater35
but I don't
said
because
jumping over a cane is
that's like
crazy.
messed up. Yeah, no, people have
Foul
done
Glitter
it. People have
86
legitimately done it.
said
No,
I
it's a
don't
thing.
know why people think it's okay.
I've had people jump over it, land on it, knock it out of my hand, almost breaking my wrist. I've had
Yep.
people do that before.
Yep, I've lost the cane because someone mistimed the jump.
Fowler
Yeah.
Glitter 86
just don't do it.
said just have some patience.
Exactly. You can wait like 2 seconds. Or if you're in that much of a hurry, say something. Like, hey, can I get past you?
Yep.
You know, like communicate. It's not that hard. A lot of people get so caught up, they don't say words, they just move. And I'm like,
Because guess what? I can step back for 5 seconds, let you
yeah,
pass,
like,
and
you
everybody's
know,
happy.
if someone needs to get by, all they have to do is say, hey, can I get past you real quick? And I'll be like, okay, and I'll put my cane I'll stand my cane up at my sides, they can get past, and then when they go past, I'll start moving again. Like,
Yep.
It's not that hard. Do not jump over someone's mobility aid, no matter who they are. Do not do
Yep.
it. It is not safe for anyone involved. And it sucks
Nope.
too, especially if you break it, then all of a sudden they have
Nothing.
so much it's so much more unsafe for them now that you've broken their aid, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Like,
Because just because I
don't
can
do it.
use bumpers in public, just because I can use the bumpers in public doesn't mean it's ideal.
Yeah, no. So that's just a PSA I wanted to add because, like, I cannot believe the amount of people I've had do that. I've also had people literally, because, like, the cane is meant to alert you that we're blind as much as it is to help us find our way around, right? So there was one time when I was younger, I was walking down a bus terminal trying to get to my bus, and there was a giant crowd of people, and there was somebody who had good intentions that was trying to get people out the way so that I could pass and stuff. And I'm like, I can wait, it's fine, there's time for me to get to my bus. I'm not in a rush.
Tater35
But they legitimately
said would you try fencing AAS a blind person?
They legitimately pushed people out in front of a bus that had just started running. Thankfully, it wasn't moving, but they didn't know that it was going. They didn't know if it was going to or not. And I'm like, don't push people into traffic.
Nah.
Don't do that. That is, first of all, you're right. No, I'm not that fucking special. Two, that is actually assault on multiple people and endangers so many lives. It's a good thing that bus driver was paying attention, because if he started moving, because I heard the engine go, he was about to start moving.
Yeah.
If that dude was not paying attention, those people would have got run over. Those people would have got hit. It's like, do not endanger other people. Communicate.
Exactly.
I get this card a lot when I do readings. Communication is fucking key.
Yeah, you have gotten that card a lot.
Like, communication.
You got that card this week. You got that card yesterday.
Multiple times, even. But yeah, no. Communicate with people around you. Do not push them into traffic, please, for fuck's sake. Like, don't endanger people's safety just to let someone pass. You can communicate with them. And so can I.
Yep.
I can also communicate. I didn't because I wasn't in a hurry.
Yep.
And I was just looking for a way around because I just thought that was easier. You know?
Great. Now I have Alabama in my head.
No, it was straight up horrifying because they put their arms out and just shoved like 5 or 6 people into the street. And I'm like, no! Oh my gods, no!
That is not necessary.
No. I'm like, that is overkill. That is overkill when it comes to help.
And hopefully that is figurative.
Yeah. But I think we are at a point where we can move on to our next one now. And once again, everybody in chat, if you have other questions, feel free to drop them. totally willing to derail this. We will get to questions people have asked in the Discord soon. There's a lot of rando questions.
Tater35 said, cause then those people might be mad at you not knowing what happened.
Also that is also a thing. But again, like, pushing people into traffic is just dangerous. Don't do it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly.
Don't do it. I feel like that should go without saying, but here we are, apparently. Right, so, next question. Do you drive? No. No.
Well, I mean, if we're talking the actual cars, no. But if we're talking bumper cars, hell yes.
Yeah, like, bumper cars and shit, that's in a controlled environment and things like that. But, like, you know, if you're asking, do I drive as in, oh, am I going to drive to the grocery store, pick up some groceries? No. No.
Yeah, that's not happening.
You do not
Power
want
86
someone that can't see behind the wheel.
Said, yes, I drive a four-wheeler.
It basically is the same as a drunk person driving. A blind person and a drunk person are the same person on the road.
Ish, yeah. But again, if you're, like Amy says, she'll drive like a four-wheeler. Like, in certain environments, you can pull it off.
It's the same kind of thing as to not put your finger on the trigger of a gun unless you're willing to kill someone.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, we're not doing
exactly.
that. But again, in certain environments, like, you know, some people, if they have supervision, they'll operate, you know, certain equipment, like farm equipment or whatever else. But largely speaking, we will not be getting driver's licenses.
No, we will not.
You know, again, it
Not
varies. Again, it varies a little bit. Like, some people, if they're wearing glasses, they will have enough sight to drive, depending on their condition. That is not like all people that wear glasses can drive. That is not the case.
Said, I trust Amy in a 16-wheeler.
You know, but largely speaking, no.
Fowler Glitter 86 said, I can also drive an RTV.
Right on.
Nice.
But again,
Nice.
you're doing that under specific circumstances. You're not just going on like a public road, yeah? Oh, here's a fun question that we could answer. Again, jumping from topic to topic.
Fowler Glitter 86 said, oh no, I don't drive in public.
Yeah, I figured as much, but like, you know, still cool that you can do it at all, to be completely fair. I'm a little bit jealous.
Yep.
Oh,
absolutely.
Anyway, so we can jump to our next question, which I think will be fun. And I wish I could demonstrate it, but kind of what we have on stream already demonstrates. Anyway, how do you read text messages and emails, and how do you reply to them? Okay,
this is again a cool question, and again, it's like
short answer is TTS.
Yeah,
but I'll let Sabby say her piece.
The long-winded answer
Fowler
is
Glitter 86
voiceover.
Said, I put my phone on my
face. Screen readers are beautiful because screen readers allow us to interact with whatever screen is in question, mobile phone or computer, and by interacting with it, we can see that Minnie, for example, sends me a DM on Discord, hey loser, you're late, and I will either swipe to recording to the record button or respond back using voiceover.
Yeah, so basically what a screen reader is it's an app that allows someone who is blind or visually impaired to navigate their screen or navigate their device using key commands or different gestures if you're on a touch screen, and it'll read things on the screen to you. So if somebody sends you a message, it can read it to you, and then you can, you know, navigate your way over to where you type messages, and then you just type on the keyboard. Or you can use dictation, which you just talk to it and it types it in for you with 95% success.
Yeah, make sure you're in a quiet environment.
Yeah, or you just enunciate a little bit sometimes. But anyway, so essentially, we'll just use that to navigate. Some of us will use, if we have enough sight, we'll use things like magnifiers. Like I, on my computer, will, there's Windows Magnifier, and when you turn it on, it allows you to zoom in and out of your screen pretty much at will. So you can make anything on screen as big as you want, as small as you want, at any given time. So I can read, navigate with my mouse, and basically find stuff the way anyone else would, just bigger, basically. So, again, multiple answers to that, which is fascinating. And, it depends on your needs and your preferences.
And I do like the joke that even if I did get my sight back, no, I'm sticking to my screen readers
Honestly,
because
valid.
because the English language is weird to read.
Tater35
Yeah.
said, I don't think I ever asked you, but do you use an Apple since they have the best accessibility in terms of phones?
So for my phone, I have an iPhone 12 right now. I am due for an upgrade, I just don't want to pay for it. So I use VoiceOver on my phone. I do have a MacBook that I don't really use very often anymore because it's out of date and it's about ready to retire. But there's VoiceOver is on that as well. I use Zoom on my iPhone as well, so I can do the same thing I do with my magnifier here sometimes.
Said Lucky.
So, so I use VoiceOver on my phone a lot. I will sometimes use voice control, because sometimes it's just easier to tell my phone what I want it to do rather than find the button and hit it. I don't use that very often. But I will also do stuff like on my phone, I've increased my default font size,
said, I wish
so I don't need to use the magnifier as much.
Whereas for me, I generally will use an iPhone that has VoiceOver, also Siri, and that pretty much helps me do what I need to do. So
The good thing is pretty much any device now has some sort of screen reader built in. Apple products have VoiceOver, Windows has narrator, Android has TalkBack. So there's always something. I think the only exception to that is Linux, but I'm not really an expert on Linux, so I can't really say one way or the other. If somebody does know if there's an option for Linux, then please share. Because that would be really interesting to learn about. Give me a moment, I need water.
Yeah, so again, might as well make this a drinking game, but it is a spectrum.
Yes.
It depends on sight and need and what the person is comfortable with learning also. So
I would recommend, though, if you have the time and are curious, Google it. Or go on YouTube and just type in how do blind people use a computer. You'll get loads of videos demonstrating how screen readers work. And I always find that that's helpful because just explaining it doesn't always really talk about or demonstrate how it works. But then you get stuff like what I have on stream, I'm using speech chat to read TTS.
Said in another question related to that, did you pick Apple based off of popularity or did you research it first? Also yes, Linux has screen reader support, but there are even Linux distros based fully around accessibility.
Oh, that's good to know, actually.
Now there's Apple products that are demonstrated online.
Yeah.
There's a really awesome Android person.
Yeah.
Really awesome Android person.
So real quick, I chose iPhone partly. I chose iPhone because my brother had it, and I already knew that it was accessible, right? So I wanted to, when I first got my cell phone, for the very first time, my mom took me to Best Buy and she signed me up. So she's like, oh, I'll pay your first bill and all the upfront costs for you, and then every other bill from now on, you're on your own. And I'm like, you know what? Fair enough. That's honestly generous. So she got
Yep.
me an iPhone 3GS because I wanted to get the 4S at the time, but they didn't have it. So I had to get the 3GS. But I chose it because I already knew that it was accessible. I already kind of knew how it worked
Tipped if he
because
rolled
my
a
brother let
D20
me
and
try
got a
his
6.
every now and then. So, like, I just wanted something familiar that I could easily transition to, as it was my first phone at the time. So, I pretty much just stuck with it because it's still accessible, so...
And I got an iPhone and stuck with the iPhone. Similar to many, I did experience other people using it because I was in an accessibility technology program, and there was a lot of iPhoning going on. But
Fowler Glitter
also to
86 rolled a
be
D20 and got a 13.
Ooh, 13's not bad.
structural about it,
Excuse
be
me.
structural about it, I was able to. I like the iPhone because it's predictable, reliable most of the time, and works. And for me, the Android is chaotic.
I've
So,
tried Android or TalkBack specifically, and I didn't really
yeah.
like it very much personally, just because I'm so used to the way voiceover works. I
Yep.
know people that swear by it though, and are like, yeah, once you get used to it, it's not bad, and I'm sure that's the case. But like, I'm just like, I'm good where I'm at until Apple pisses me off enough to move. So
Exactly.
so far, I'm not confident in sticking with their products right now, but like, I'm sticking with the device that I have because I'm not rich. So,
Yeah. And I mean, theoretically, well, I don't know how many people can see it, but theoretically, I could shoot you a text message real quick
yeah.
just to get some demonstration.
Yeah, but no one would really hear it.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
You know, I'm not really equipped to demonstrate it right now, which I really should have thought of, honestly. But again, if y'all look it up on YouTube, you will absolutely find a lot of fascinating and different like approaches to it, which are all valid. They just there's a lot of neat things. But that does generally kind of answer, oh, how do you use a computer in general? Because that's kind of the same question, really.
Yeah, it is.
So, you know. So let's move on to the next one, which is another it depends one. If I show you a picture, will you be able to see it?
So me, no, not a chance.
Yeah. Me, it kind of depends on the picture itself.
Said seems like a good Linux distro is Ubuntu made. It's designed with screen readers built in, but also you can run any Linux program like Orca on it. However, Linux isn't as easy as Windows for a beginner.
Yeah, I've heard Linux can be a bit rough.
If it's a bill, I can't see it.
If it's a bill, I can't see it. Fair enough. That is fair. So, again, it's a giant spectrum, which, you know, can't stress that enough. So the overall answer is probably, maybe, but it depends on the person and their condition and how it manifests and stuff. For me, 9 times out of 10, I'll be able to see just enough to figure out what it is. It partly depends on, you know, the colors and how everything blends together and stuff like that. For some, not at all, because they either can't see at all or their vision just is not functional enough to make it clear.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah,
So,
the only thing I will see is you hanging something that is blocking the light.
Yeah, like, so basically, the thing I would suggest that you do in that situation is just ask. It's like, oh, are you able to see this? Do you need me to describe it? And then, if it's a yes, I can, then you're good. If it's, you know, if it's a no, then it's like, okay, well, you know, just tell them what's in it and stuff like that kind of thing. And that's one of the reasons I advocate for alt text on my server. It's just to make sure that we have a lot of blind people in the server, you know, just make sure it's accessible to them as well as to you, you know, so that we can all enjoy the thing together.
Fowler Glitter 86 said, how about you don't shove a picture in my face?
I mean, yeah, I don't think this is I don't think this is like shoving. It's just, oh, if I show you something, if I say, oh, hey, I have something I want you to see, and then you just show them, it's like, will you be able to see that? It's like, maybe. Yeah, probably not, but maybe.
This is not a how many fingers are we holding up situation.
No, thankfully. But yeah, don't do the shoving in the face thing. It's not.
No.
It's rude. But yeah, no. It is very much a. It is very dependent on the individual you are dealing with. So just ask. That's it. You know. Just ask and be
Use
ready to
words.
describe what it is you're trying to show them.
Yep.
Alrighty. I think that pretty much covers that one, to be honest with you.
I would agree. We flashed through that one.
Oh, here's my favorite question. Mainly
Are you
because
being genuine or sarcastic?
genuine, because I get to tell y'all a horror story, which I've told before. Anyway,
Tater35 said, if I hand you an item, how likely is it you can guess what the item is?
through sight, depends, once again, kind of like the picture question. But if we have a chance to hold it, much more likely that we'll be able to figure it out.
86
That's very much more.
said it depends on the item, Tater.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
So real quickly on the item thing. Normally when doing an activity, I like to go first. But there was one activity where we literally had to identify people's hands. So I had 6 people in the class,
Tater35 said,
and
meant
I
feel and
went
knew the
ahead
item is a
and
sword.
volunteered to go last. So I got 30 chances to familiarize myself with other hands. So I identified everybody's hand.
okay, so Tater wrote, I meant feel, and, yeah, okay, so if we have the chance to feel it, then yeah, there's a pretty good chance that we'll figure it out, you know? It does still depend on what the thing is.
Yep.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty solid chance.
Absolutely.
But anyway, on to my favorite question. Is it possible to lose your vision overnight? I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that
Foul
the
of Glitter
answer
86
is yes.
said Tater, I could identify
And
if
I
it's
can
heavy.
pretty much say the same thing. But go ahead, Minnie.
So, is it rare? Yeah, kinda. But it can still happen. For me, it happened when I was 6 years old because of a cataract that grew in. Cataracts are the most common cause of blindness in North America, as far as I know.
Yep, they are.
My vision was always crappy though because of my condition that has just kind of thoroughly fucked my retinas. So that's permanent, unfortunately. So I literally went to bed one day, I was seeing out of both eyes. Woke up the next morning seeing out of one, but I was so disoriented I couldn't figure out what was actually happening. Losing half or all of your sight in such a short amount of time is life-changing.
Yeah,
It is terrifying. It is a lot to process all at once. If you have support, you'll make it. You'll make it through. But it can
Tater
happen.
35
Anybody can go blind for
said
like
you can also
any reason,
temporarily
really.
lose your vision during a stroke, but what you're describing is scary.
Yeah, that can also happen. Also, like shit like diabetes can like sort of end your vision over time. That is usually more of a gradual thing, though, from what I've heard. I'm not really an expert on diabetes. But again, I know from what when a cataract pops up, man, those things, they pop up. They're not like, you know, sometimes they'll fade in. They're very unpredictable that way. Depends on the person. Sometimes they'll fade in, sometimes they'll just sort of be there. And they can develop either very quickly or very slowly. For me, mine developed very quickly.
So for me, my left eye couldn't tell you because I was a kid. I was 5 years old when I actually lost it. Don't know if it was gradual
and its
or
related
overnight.
health complications
My right
were
eye,
horrifying to me.
Agreed.
Forget being overnight. That was instantaneous. So June 16th, 1994. 8 days before The Lion King came out. I was a kid who had to go to summer camp, went to McDonald's, got me a sausage biscuit, which I don't know why I like sausage biscuits as a kid from McDonald's because God's no. Hash brown and orange juice. Remember staring at the menu and enjoying myself. Went to Soapstone. Went to that lovely gray front visitor area. Enjoyed my breakfast. Went to French class. Grabbed my grabbed the French derivation of my legal name, my dead name, and
Drill
went to sit at the
underscore
table.
underscore the underscore heavens. Said wishing the
Next
best for
thing-
everyone who has the condition.
For sure.
Next thing I know, I look down, see green. Look to the left, see green. Look to the right, see green. So
It's
the
just all
first 7
green.
words I uttered as a blind person were, I can't see my name, I can't see the actual name on the thing. So
Yeah.
that literally was instantaneous.
I can't see insert name here.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, it is, I had the unfortunate experience of not being believed when I was trying to tell my mom there was something wrong at the time, so she sent me to school anyway. Because she thought I was trying to skip school because I was being bullied a lot because I was blind. Which, yeah, I would have loved to not have gone to school that day, but, you know. And then I got dragged to the principal's office because I wasn't able to do my work, and my teacher thought I was trying to skip. And my mom only believed me when my teacher called and forced me to tell her what was going on. So I was like, there is something wrong. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I need help. I can't see properly. Then my mom finally believed me because I was bawling my eyes out. And she's like, oh no, a kid crying like that's not making shit up. And I'm like, cool, thanks for finally believing me.
Yeah, the Power Rangers. I will always love the Power Rangers because I'm a '90s kid. But the Power Rangers actually introduced me to my first blind friend. And what was also cool was we didn't know it at the time, but he was playing the female and I was playing the male at the time. So
I
that was my
see.
first blind friend.
I see.
Yep.
But yeah, the short answer is unfortunately yes. It can happen.
Yep.
Is it a super common thing? No. Is it necessarily going to happen to you? No. But it is possible.
Overnight is possible. Instantaneous is absolutely possible. But again, it's a spectrum.
Yep.
I seriously feel like I seriously hope that anybody who's actually made this a drinking game is using
Tater 35.
water
Said not
or
being a
apple
blind
juice
person,
or
but
something like
running the
that,
biggest
because
blind MC
otherwise
server always
you is
feels
out.
weird to me.
No, I get that. Okay, here's the last common question I've gotten online. And I feel like we have kind of answered it already because a lot of things are going to overlap. But the last question I have is, how do I respectfully interact with someone who is blind or has low vision?
My gosh, we got somebody who actually wants to learn and wants to know.
Yeah. And again, we've kind of gone over a lot of things. Like, don't just grab them in public. Talk to us like people. We're people, you know?
Yeah, talk to us.
You don't
not to the person with us.
don't do that thing where you're a server at a restaurant going, "Oh, what does this person want?" Talk to that
Tater
person.
35.
If you want to know what I want,
Said
talk
I
to
need
me.
to know the answers so I can do the
Yeah.
opposite.
Rude.
Wow, I feel offended. I feel offended.
Yeah, no, but it's like, you know, if you want to know what I want, if you want to know what my order is, ask me. If you want to know what I want to do, ask me.
Yep.
Don't just go to the person next to me and be like, "Oh, what do they want?" Because
Same thing in doctors' offices. Doctors, talk to me.
I've
I'm
had
perfectly capable of
I've had
understanding
people
what
do
Glitter
that
86.
where they asked me what
Said
my
at
friend
Tater
wants.
35, if you treat me like an idiot, we're gonna fight.
Yeah, no, it's like you can treat us like people because that's what we are. We are people.
Again,
And we have every
the
right.
only exception to that rule would be me, because I'm walking into Cracker Barrel or insert whatever place at noon and it is loud, and so I can't hear you anyway. So in
Tater35
that case,
said
because
she
of an
doesn't
extenuating
realize I already
circumstance,
do.
whoever I'm with does have permission to
Well,
get my
fair,
order.
but that's a slightly, that's a different circumstance where it's like, yeah, that's covering a legitimate need that you
Yeah.
have, right? But
Yep.
under normal circumstances, like if I was there, I could still communicate effectively and stuff like that, and
Yep.
but
Yep.
like it's like if you come up to someone in public and you know who they are, announce yourself instead of just waving. Just be like, oh hey, so and so, it's me. You know, it's just you're just
Exactly.
communicating in a non-visual way, but you're still communicating. Just
Yeah. And that's the point.
you know,
Communicate.
yeah,
Communicate
just
to me.
it's fine to come up to me and be like, oh hi, it's so and so or whatever, and it's like, I mean, if I don't know you, then it's still just say hi. This my name is this. We don't know each other, but
Yeah.
like just here I am. It's it's okay to do that. It's
Yep.
if you're coming up, if you're say riding a bike on a sidewalk and you're coming up behind someone, or you're even coming up in front of someone, just be like, I'm coming up on your left or your right or whatever, so that that person
Tater35
knows you're
Yeah.
there.
said the more of a friend you are, the
Yep.
more he'll treat you as a moron.
Like,
Yep.
it's just a matter of communicating. It's like, if I can't see you, tell me where you're at. Also, don't just point at something and be like, oh, it's over there.
Oh
Please,
God.
please
But
don't do
over
that.
where?
Please don't do that.
Over where?
Like,
Right
where?
there? Right where?
It's like, where?
Over there? I thought.
Yeah, it's saying it's over there
Howler
and
Glitter
pointing to
86
something that somebody can't see you
said
point
treat
to.
blind people the same as everyone else social-wise, but meet
Yeah.
their social needs.
Yeah, it's like, if you're
Yeah.
pointing at something and be like, oh, it's over there, and I can't see where you're pointing, you have told me essentially nothing.
Nope.
I don't know where over there is. I don't know what that means. So if
Nope.
if you give me like a direction, oh, it's a couple feet to your left. That's something I can at least work with.
By the door. Okay.
It's not
I can
very
work with that.
specific, but it's
Fowler
something I can
Glitter
work with.
86 said,
Yeah.
dude, somehow my blood relatives still do that.
No, honestly, my family does it all the time too, and I'm just like, I don't know what that means. Like, you're over where? What is near it? What
Yeah,
is
exactly.
My mom has thankfully gotten used to saying like, oh, go get the basket in my room. It's in front of my bed. Okay. Or something like
Fowler
that.
Glitter
Like, she'll
86
give
Yep.
instructions.
said at Tater35 lol.
Yep.
The stairs
My-
to
my
get up to my
favorite-
mom's
my
porch.
favorite-
She'll tell me, you gotta go to the right side of the
Said
porch.
I love to tell Logic to go over there in Minecraft cause even sighted navigating a 3D world is difficult.
Yeah, no, I hate that. Like, don't do that. That just makes it so much harder for no reason. Like, I know you're
Yeah,
just
my
kind of,
fav-
I know you're just kind of farting around and whatever, and just don't do that.
My favorite.
Please don't do
My
that.
favorite.
I'm actually being
my
serious.
Tiff Tiff B
Yeah, totally.
said when Celine Dion saying near, far, wherever you are, that's not what she meant.
Definitely not Pippa. But yeah, my favorite navigation story with the family. Wow, I had a lot of Christians in my life, but one of them was a Christian. Bible study on the college campus, on a huge college campus in Florida. They were describing how to get from point A to point Z, and they did a real good job for 90% of the story. And he ended with, "And you do it like that." And I'm like, "Yo, you were doing so great, but what exactly is a like that?" And like he kind of chuckled because it's like, "Oh wait, I
Fowler
forgot you
Glitter
were listening to the
86
story too."
said
Now,
over there,
thankfully, I was just
like,
listening.
over near the oven in the kitchen, like I have to coax it out of them.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yep, that's the thing.
Like, so that, like, and so like, don't be surprised if you do that. Don't be surprised if you get follow-up questions. Like, Is it near this thing? Where's it at?
Tater
Can you be more
35.
specific? Like,
Said often I'll look at my mini-map and tell exact chords if I think of it in the moment, which is helpful, but the mods don't always help give the info of where you're facing best.
coordinates in Minecraft aren't really the most helpful for... I mean, I guess the access mod can help with that now, and like, you know, but they aren't always the most helpful thing to give. Like, if you can get them to recognize, like, oh, this thing is near me, is this thing near this thing? You know, like, where is it relative?
Yep.
Like, say, for example, if we're talking about Blindcraft right now, Logic's nether portal is, if you're coming off of his bridge, the nether portal is just to the right, you know? So, you know, if somebody's telling me, oh, find Logic's nether portal, and I'm on that bridge, I know to go to the one end of the bridge and turn right. You know? And if someone else is there and they don't know where to go, it's like, okay, yeah, make a right. It's just a little bit that way. You know?
Yeah.
But if somebody's like, oh, I'll just give you exact coordinates to that, that ends up, at least to me, that ends up being way more confusing than helpful. You know? If it's a place like super far away, you can give me coordinates and I can create a waypoint in the minimap and find it eventually, but like, you know, if it's something nearby, like if it's something really close, you can just be descriptive. Because, like, otherwise it just makes it way more complicated than it needs to be.
Also, sighted people, if you are looking at me, my right is not your right.
My right, your left.
Exactly. So don't tell me to go right and then get mad when I go right and I'm
Foul
going the
on
wrong way.
Said I usually make Tater give me directions.
Yeah, like, that's why when I was describing where my nether portal was, like, in the nether, I'm like, okay, find Tater, the thingy that leads up to Tater's barter farm, and follow the tracks in the opposite direction. Because I just happen to have, my nether portal just happens to be, like, right near the track. So it's like, oh, that's a great landmark right there. That is
Tater
something that I can
35.
point people toward.
Said sometimes if it's just to grab resources, I'll just grab them for you, as I don't like explaining where my stuff is.
I mean, I do get that, but on the other hand, like, some people do want that independence. You
Foul
know,
or glitter
whereas,
86.
you know,
Give
just
me the
Said
choice
I have
to
it in
fish.
my head to know that my
Oh.
right is others' left.
doing the thing for someone, you know,
Yeah.
some people might, I think most people would appreciate it, but at the same time, it does kind of cut their independence a little bit, and a lot of people really, really value that and don't like it being taken away from them, even if that's not your intention. And, like, a
Tater
lot of people
35.
will be cool about it because they
Said
know
my
it's not your
stuff is
intention.
my stuff. If you know where my stuff is, then you can take my stuff without asking me, and then it'll hurt you.
That is very questionable.
Yeah, that's a little bit rough there, bud. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
I mean, just because you know where my stuff is, I still have privacy. So just because you might know that my cane is
I
in
think
the dresser,
he's
does not
talking
mean-
he's talking about Minecraft in particular.
Oh,
But
got you.
yeah, it's still a little bit rough, like, you know. It's
Got you.
it's one of those things. It's like, respect the desire for independence if it exists, because it often does. And you know, in some cases doing something for someone else is fine if they're okay with it. They're not always okay
Tater
with it.
35. Said I only
Usually
say
there's
that
a
due
reason.
to people will just take my stuff sometimes without asking first.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's just not
Nope.
that's just them not being considerate at that point.
Tater 35. Said if it's a farm that produces the items, he'll gladly just tell you where to go.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I think we can move on now, because now we can finally answer questions that people in Discord have asked. Which there are a good few, and there are a couple from a stream I did a little while back that
Fowler
that
Glitter
we can
86.
also answer.
Said you know I'd ask every time.
Absolutely. Okay, so we can finally move on to actual personal questions.
Tater 35. Said that's why you know where my stuff is, Amy.
So we can dive into this. So Drill asked the first question. So he asks, how would you say being legally blind differentiates with the typical with the typical views of blindness? There are a lot of misconceptions that a lot of people think.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, you know, they think every blind person wears sunglasses, every blind person is somehow dumb, every blind person needs assistance all the time, every blind person isn't able to do X, Y, Z. And, like, again, it's a huge spectrum, so it always depends. There are some people that fit those molds. Which I do think is honestly unfortunate, but, like, there are people that are able to do so much more than a lot of people think. Like, you know, a lot of people didn't realize that I could stream. A lot of people didn't realize that I could, do a lot of what I do. Like, I'm constantly surprised how amazed people are when I go to, like, events. Like, I went to Niagara Falls a little bit ago for a festival and stuff like that. Like, a lot of people are always surprised at how I can get around so easily, and they're like, they just didn't really think about it. They're like, oh, no sight means nothing, which means you can't do the thing. And it's like, they realized very quickly that they were wrong about that. So
Fowler Glitter 86
it's frustrating having to constantly battle those perceptions.
I could have independence, lol.
Yeah, right?
So,
like, go ahead, Sabby.
So the first thing is, there's no such thing as typical blindness. Like,
No,
I know what you mean by that, Drill, but typical blindness is not a thing. Now, if you take out the word typical,
it's more like the typical perception of. It's not.
Got you. But yeah, blindness.
Like how does it actually work versus the stereotypes?
Got you. Okay, got you. But being legally blind basically is somebody like Minnie who has partial sight, and so they have functional vision in order to use to do basically most tasks. On the other hand, I have light perception in the right eye, which is definitely not legal blindness, and it's closer to being a totally blind person. Which a totally blind person, they can't see anything. There's just nothing there. So
TATR35
there
rolled
are
a
some
D20
people
and got a 8.
who will fight for whatever use of vision they have. Yeah, I'm a partially sighted person, or I have
Fowler
light
Glitter
perception.
86
And
rolled a
there are
D20
other
and got
people
a 8.
who will just say that they're blind, and that
Tater
usually is
Said insane.
because they don't want to deal with the BS of having to explain over and over and over again. So just say I'm blind and be done with it.
Yeah. Because again, I mean, blindness is a spectrum, so that means a ton of different things.
Said I'm gonna head off now, team. Got more stuff to do with Simon. Awesome Q&A session, everyone.
Alrighty, thanks for hanging out, Tifa. You two have fun, eh? I know you two got more plans, so like you two enjoy yourselves.
Yep.
But yeah, I feel like that's a little bit of a hard question to answer because it really depends on the perceptions that we're dealing with.
Fowler Glitter 86 said I just tell people I'm blind. Tiff Tiff.
Yeah.
Said we will. Gonna try to keep him chill.
Yeah, if I'm just having one of those days, I'll just say I'm blind, but most of the time,
Fowler Glitter 86
I will be like, light perception in my eye.
with Simon Tiffa.
I'm blind in the left eye.
I've I've had situations where a lot of people don't really
Swift Simeon
understand when I tell them
said
I'm
Fox.
visually impaired, I'm blind. Like, I'll usually start with, I'm legally blind, right? Like, and we know what that means. I can't see very well,
Yeah.
right? And then I'll go with, I'm blind, because they're like, oh, I don't... Because, like, they'll just continue doing the visual thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm blind. Like, especially when I'm at a restaurant. Like, I've had this many times at like fast food places and stuff. I'll be like, I'm blind, I can't read your menu. And then they'll point to it anyway, like, oh, well, it's up there. Okay, I'm blind. And then they're like, yeah, it's...
I don't know where
and they're
it
like,
is.
okay, so it's right there. You can read it up there. And I look at them and I just say, at this point, because essentially it is true in this moment, sir, I can't see. Then they understand. Then there's like that, oh.
Well, why didn't you say it before? I was saying it.
So a lot of people don't understand what it even means until you sit there and be like, I cannot see. I had that one time happen. I was coming home from a friend's place and I took an Uber home and it got really dark. And unfortunately, where I am, there's not a lot of street lights. So the Uber driver was having trouble seeing where to exactly drop me off. So the dude was asking me. I'm looking outside going, yeah, it's pitch black. It's completely pitch black to me. And I'm like, so I'm blind. I can't really like...
people have a lot of brain damage in those moments.
Yeah, like, I'm just like, I'm blind. I can't see, so I can't really, like, I can't see it, so I can't really tell you where it is, unfortunately. I know that we're close. And he's like, well, if you could just look outside and stuff like that.
Having worked retail,
so
an amazing amount of people are natural idiots.
So I, like, repeat myself, going like, I'm blind, I can't see it. He does it again. It's like, well, just look outside. Sir, I can't see. Oh, I'm so sorry. So he gets out, and thankfully there was a neighbor around, so he gets out and asks the neighbor, and she helped me out, which was great. But he felt really bad about it, so I didn't, like, I didn't, like, I didn't give him shit for it, but I was like, dude, really? People don't know what it means. A lot of people don't know what it means. And that can be very frustrating. Because, like, I see a lot of like advocacy posts online where it's like, oh, just, tell people I'm blind, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm like, but half the time nobody knows what those mean. And then you have to explain it anyway, or you have to just be like, I can't see. And I just... it's tiring. It's tiring. If y'all want to know what that experience is like, it's tiring.
Tiring, frustrating.
I just...
and...
Fowler Glitter
the battery
86
is drained.
said, I'm blind, use your eyes. Well, I can't. But you could use your eyes. I can't.
They don't work. I can't see. Like, and like, sometimes when I do the whole I can't thing, they still don't get it until I literally say, I can't see. That's when they get it. Like, it's like, my eyes don't work, they don't get it. I can't see very well, they don't get it. I'm blind, they don't get it. I can't see,
Swift
they get
Simeon
it.
said, pulls out googly eyes. Work, darn you.
Yeah, honestly.
in the words of Scar, I am surrounded by an idiot.
No, for real. Like, I'm just like, so it's like, how do you deal with that in that moment? It's never not going to be awkward. It's never not going to be awkward. It is a thing. It is definitely a thing. So,
also,
I don't think there's a direct
people.
answer to Drill's question, to be completely honest with you.
Yeah,
Tater
and customer
35
service people,
said,
especially
Amy,
you
can
computer
you put a
customer
googly eye
service
on
people,
your eye patch?
can you please, for the love of the gods, if I ask you a question, can you please not tell me that to hit that big button on the left? Instead, give me some nearby information.
Said, visually impaired
like a
and legally
heading,
blind is
or
what I
the
usually
specific
blind
link.
is what I tell people, and I just get, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. I also get people being too afraid to ask questions because they're like, oh, I don't want to be offensive. and I suspect that's at least part of why I didn't get a ton of questions for this. We're making it good. We're making it work, though. We've been here quite a while.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we have.
So, it's whatever. But I was kind of hoping people would be a little bit braver about it, But I mean, it is what it is. I can't really blame them for it. So,
you gotta work with what you got, and this is the first time. So
yeah. Well, it's not the first time I've done a
Maybe we can
Q&A.
continue.
It's not the first time I've done a Q&A,
Gotcha.
so.
Gotcha.
Anyway,
Fair enough.
how about we move on to the next question?
Are we ready for you to explode yet?
What's up?
So are we ready for you to explode yet? Because I know that's coming up.
Eventually. So, Drill asks yet again, favorite disabled rep in fiction and real life? That is hard to say. That is hard to say.
Yeah.
Fowler Glitter
Yeah,
86.
that is.
Said
My
that
favorite.
35. I'll consider it. I don't have any
So my
Google eyes,
favorite
but I'll think about
disabled
it.
rep in real life. Although I say no. Yeah, that is a hard question. That's a hard question.
Okay, so my favorite, just because she's the most entertaining, Toph from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Fowler Glitter
Blind
86.
girl who is fiercely
Said
independent.
Hawkeye is mine.
Easily one of the strongest characters in that entire show.
Tater 35.
She is a sassy.
Said he'll
She's
get
just
you them or
sassy and
even make some
snarky
custom
and
ones
just
for
really
you.
fun to watch. And she embraces the blind jokes, which are just a lot of fun. IRL? I mean, I fucking exist around disabled people all the time, so I don't know, just kind of everybody that does cool shit, really. I don't really have a direct
Tater
answer to
35. Said Toph is a peak character.
that. Toph is great.
Yeah, even though I don't like him, all things
Fowler Glitter
considered,
86.
Daredevil is decent.
Said okay, if you make it, I'll wear it.
Blind representation.
So, I have mixed opinions on that, because I actually think Daredevil is terrible blind rep, because it's a superpower and not actually, he's not actually, learning from having a disability. It's just he gained superpowers, so it's just, oh, hey, superpowered disabled trope, So in that sense, I think it's terrible rep. Is he a fun character? Yeah, sure. As representation, I don't think he's great, though.
Yeah, that's pretty much kind of why I never vibe with Daredevil, because it's like, bro, you're not representing
I think he's cool. I think Daredevil is cool. And I have no issue with anyone liking Daredevil, because he is a cool character who is blind. I just don't think he represents blindness very well. But I mean, if you're entertained by him and you like Daredevil and all that, then go for it. Enjoy yourself. I have no issue with that. But anyway, sorry, I kind of steamrolled you a bit.
I don't know, it's fine. But fictionally, there's not really a lot of blind characters that I can think of, which is
Tater 35.
unfortunate.
Said canonically he didn't just gain superpowers from going blind, he gained them from learning to embrace what happened to him and training his senses, but yes, it's not very accurate.
Yeah, I mean, that is true.
86.
That is true.
Said I think all of my blind friends are my favorite IRL representation.
Fair enough. That is fair.
Now that is definitely a thing, because we all of the blind people that I know, I can think of something cool about them which differs from what I do. Like, for example, Minnie is a streamer. I can go on and on, but yeah, no, it's nice that we have a community.
It is. We built a good little spot here. But let's see if we can...
Drill _to_the_ heavens. Said one of these days I might try to fill that niche. At least try to write a disabled superhero whose powers are unrelated. Cause there are definitely plenty of heroes with powers that double as disabilities.
Yeah.
Swift
Yeah.
Simeon.
Oh, absolutely.
Said any good blind comedian acts on YouTube you recommend? Drill
I
_to _heavens.
interesting.
Said Phil that niche asterisk.
Yeah, I don't know of any blind comedians offhand.
Honestly, I don't either, mainly because I don't really watch a lot of comedians just in general, to be honest. I'm sure there are plenty. I just don't personally know any, just because that's not my scene to begin with. So unfortunately, I don't have an answer for you.
Yeah, I can't think of anybody offhand that I am into the comedian scene.
Swift Simeon. Said fair.
I know there was one I saw in like YouTube shorts a while back. Like sometimes I'll just see random clips from like different stuff, and sometimes comedians pop up, but I did not get their name, and honestly if I did I probably would have just forgotten anyway. So yeah, unfortunately I do not have an answer, which is kind of sad, actually. I do have another question that we can move on to. This is one of those ones that I can't say I outright hate, but it does hit a nerve for me personally. This one was from Cool Man, who asks, how hard is it to do things whilst blind?
Yeah, I feel the irritation.
Okay, so again, that overlaps with a lot of things that we've said today. With it's a spectrum, everything's different for everybody. It also highly depends on the thing. Like cooking, for example, can be a little bit difficult, especially if you have to measure things, but there are ways around that. Like there are accessible measuring cups that have braille on them, or large print, or you can just simply memorize the sizes, or whatever. Using a stove, you can put little marks on them to know, oh hey, this is high heat, this is medium heat, this is the button to hit bake to start the oven, this is the temperature button. Stuff like that. Like there's ways that you can get around it. And part of it is just practice. It gets easier the more you do it, you know?
Exactly.
And again, just being aware of your environment, what you're doing, especially if you're dealing with hot objects and things, like you gotta be aware of where things are at so you don't do the stupid thing and accidentally shove a hot oven tray into your elbow.
Fowler
totally not an
86.
experience I've had.
Said I'm learning
Never-
to cook and
never
I've only
done
burnt
that in
myself
my life.
once, so I'd say we can do pretty well for ourselves.
Let's just say I still have 2 marks on my arm that are almost entirely gone, but there are 2 very faint scars on my arm from said oven tray. And I have named them because I was making chicken nuggets at the time. I named the first one Chicken, the other one is named Nuggets.
Nice.
So
Nice.
permanent reminder of my stupidity. Yeah, like, you know, sometimes it takes a little bit of persistence and things like that. Reading can be difficult depending on what you're doing. You know, I should be using Braille, I should be using magnifiers and stuff like that. Sometimes I don't, and that makes things difficult. That is a me problem.
Fowler Glitter 86.
You know.
You could absolutely pull up a menu.
Oof, that sucks, Amy.
And then use screen reader.
Yep, that is true too. There are apps that help with reading and describing images and stuff, like Be My Eyes or Seeing AI and stuff like that. Like, I know a lot of people have issues with AI, but it can be put to good use, to responsible use. You know, not Seeing AI, Be My Eyes also has the ability to call volunteers that will help you describe things and read stuff too, so, you know.
Which I love to do if it's not personal. So.
Yeah, 100%. Like, I've seen people use it while they're shopping and stuff like that. Like, oh, hey, can you help me find the best deal here or whatever? And, like, you know, then you're just talking with someone and having a conversation with them, and you can better describe and communicate what you want and stuff. So, like, you know, there are definitely, sometimes we have to do things differently than everyone else, but, you know, depending on what it is, it can be just as easy or really difficult.
_heavens. Said AI is good for putting pine needles on trees in the new Witcher game.
Listen, I I'm not against the use of AI unless you're using it to quote unquote create art. Keep it out of art. Keep it out of art.
And if you're using it to be lazy.
Yeah, like don't, you know.
Yukimarshi19 said, well, I'm gonna go to bed. I have another exam in the morning.
Alrighty. Well, thanks for hanging
Hey.
out. I'm glad we got to one of your questions before the end of the night. We will definitely get to the rest of them, and that will be put on YouTube eventually when I get around to posting all the VODs.
Said that's why the trees look so
next
realistic.
year. Got it.
Lots of little needle models that need to individually be placed onto the model. Yukimarshi19 said no problem.
Alrighty. Alright, so while he's going off to bed, how about we move on to the next one? We have just a few more, unless y'all have other questions you would like to add to this. In which case, feel free. Tifa asks, to mirror Drill's question, what's been the worst disabled rep in fiction and real life you ever encountered?
Fiction is easy for me.
There's a lot in fiction, I feel like.
Yeah. Fiction is easy for me, but
Tater35
I don't remember the character.
said, I think AI is fine for
feel
art
like
to
it
a
might have
degree, but to
been-
claim it as art is
I
bad.
feel
It's
like it
okay
might
to
have
use it
been
for temp art
done
or
on
like
Fresh
a game
Prince
while you get
or-
proper art made just so you can continue
Steve
making
Urkel
your
or
game.
other shows, but the blind character who quote unquote uses their cane by having their cane flying through the air at all times. So much so that they wind up smacking into stuff on the table that falls to the floor.
Yeah, we did do an entire we do have on my YouTube, we have a whole giant podcast dedicated to blind rep in media and fantasy, just in general, and we do talk about ones that we like and don't like. There was that one blind character from Bleach that just sort of was poorly handled. There was that one Colonel Mustang in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Could have been amazing rep. He himself I have no issues with, but how they just hit the reset button and just healed him and didn't really give him a chance to like live with his disability, which he was totally willing to do. He was like, all right, well, This is my life now. Guess I'm going to learn to live with it and deal with it. And I thought that was the most like badass thing. He wasn't like, oh, woe is me. He was like, well, everything sucks, but this is what it is now. So I'm dealing with it, you know? And then they just hit the reset button and he's just like, what the fuck? You know? Everybody was just like, what the fuck? And it's just like, yeah, no, nobody's disabled anymore. Everybody's good. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Which is very
so much for narrative
because
stakes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's disappointing because that basically subscribes to the theory that blindness is a problem that needs to be cured, and it's like, would we love to
Drill
be cured?
underscore
Sure.
the underscore the underscore
Do we
heavens.
need to be cured? No,
Said
we
they didn't
can
fix
survive.
Ed's
We can
leg.
live.
Fowler Glitter
Yeah,
86
I guess that's true, but like,
said the blind character in Deadpool made me mad. There was one scene that really pissed me off, but I don't want to get my account banned.
I haven't seen that, unfortunately, so I don't really know what they did in Deadpool.
Yeah, same here. Same here.
I don't like seeing the ones that like just kind of lean into the I call it like the helpless factor, where they're just made out to be like these helpless characters because they have a disability and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, okay, they have limits, yes, but like being disabled doesn't automatically equal helpless. So,
No, it does not.
you know, like that's kind of why I like Toph so much, because it's like, yeah, they do often run into things that she has trouble with, but like she's still like the strongest character in the show, like you know, so, and you know, she's not strong because of her disability, but it did open her up to being able to interact with the world in her own unique way, you know, which then through her efforts is what gave her quote-unquote superpowers.
Fowler Glitter 86
You know.
said at Tater35, have you seen Deadpool? If so, you'd probably know what I'm talking about.
Also, we had someone join chat recently. I don't know how to say your name, unfortunately, but I do see your little hi emoticon there. Welcome in. If
Drill
you're
underscore
hearing this,
underscore that
which you're probably not because
heavens.
ad breaks. That is awkward.
Said long story short, I think if one character had to have permanent consequences, then all of them should.
Yeah, like it's just weird the way it was handled personally. I don't know. I don't love it. But yeah, there's a whole episode we did dedicated to rep. So
said think helpless, cocaine and being the butt of multiple jokes.
Yeah, nah.
I'm good. Okay. So again, since we have covered that in the past, I think we're going to move on to our last Discord question before we go on to previous Twitch questions, not including the ones we've answered today.
Tater35 said I have watched Deadpool before and I don't know what you mean. The blind lady in the movie kinda was just on the couch and told advice the whole time.
Gotcha. The blind sage trope.
Yep.
That's a thing.
Which?
I'm not going to dwell on that because that's just going to make me upset, and I don't want to be upset. So we have our final Discord submitted question from Creepo once again. How difficult is it for you to go walk outside for some fresh air or trying to go places like shops? I feel like that kind of goes along with the how do you get around question.
Yeah, it definitely does.
So, like, you know, I feel like we have already kind of answered that one. He also asked one about, how do you stream and stuff like that, which overlaps with the how do you use technology kind of stuff. And honestly, I'm not going to dive into that one here because I could make a whole video on that, which I might in the future. I don't know when, but I might. But that one's a whole video's worth on its own, to be completely honest with you. So
totally.
I don't think I'm going to dive into that one because we've kind of tackled it already. But then we have questions that we have a few more questions from Drill and one from Dark Absol, who we haven't seen in a while. But anyway, Drill asks yet again.
Said it depends on how you're able to get transportation.
I mean, that's part of it, yes.
Yeah.
That is part of it, yes.
But physically walking outside is not a problem.
Yeah, we kind of covered that when we answered how do you get around, because that's kind of the same question. Anyway, so Drill didn't originally pose this as a question, but I kind of rephrased it a little bit. Would training your eyes help them to function longer? Which is honestly an interesting question, not a different question. From my experience, longer, no. But training them to be able to focus on different things over other things, that is absolutely possible. I don't know. I think it depends on the person as well. But I don't know I don't know that it would really, lengthen the time you would be using your eyes, because that depends on the physical strain.
Said I'm gonna go work on the thing I need to finish.
Alrighty.
Alright, sounds good.
Thanks for hanging out, Amy.
And of course, in my case, I mean, I can train my eyes to use light perception all I want, but it's not really going to make a difference. So.
Yeah, like for a lot of people, again, spectrum, right? So for a lot of people, trying to train your eyes in any type of way isn't really going to amount to anything, unfortunately. And for some people, like myself, sometimes, depending on the thing that I'm trying to do at the time, the thing that I'm prioritizing, I can definitely learn to focus on specific things so that when I'm looking around, I can basically keep an eye out for that thing.
Said y'all have fun.
Yep.
Talk to you later.
Sounds good.
Sounds good, Amy. We'll definitely touch base later. But yeah, but that's more just learning to focus on things rather than training my actual eyes. There isn't anything.
Said by at Tater35. It was fun talking to you.
There isn't anything that I personally can do to really strengthen my vision. You know, it either cooperates with me or it doesn't, and I think that's the case for a lot of people. There might be some cases where that can happen, but I don't personally know of any. I don't want to like rule out the possibility because I don't actually know if that's like the case or not, but I don't know of any specific cases.
Oh yeah, if there is a case, that's more likely you just lost your vision, so here are some techniques to strengthen your eye and hopefully lengthen them, which don't know how that works as that person gets older, but
I think in a lot of cases you'd want to do that to kind of just get used to the state that you're in or just adjust to it and stuff like that, because I did a lot of eye training and stuff when I was younger after I lost my vision. I kind of had to do my own eye training because nobody really gave me that support, but like I would often do little things like trying to see if I could get better at spotting things further away and stuff like that, and just sort of trying to adjust to reality and things like that, you know. It didn't strengthen my eyes, but it definitely taught me how to use my eyes, you know. So, or at least taught me how to reuse my eyes, because again, when you lose half your sight in such a short amount of time, you kind of have to relearn everything.
exactly.
So yeah, that is definitely an interesting question, though. Definitely a lot that we could probably dive into there. But not enough that I currently know about.
I appreciate questions that make me think. So
Yeah. That's definitely not one that I tend to get very often, if at all. So like that's an interesting one to think about. The next question Drill asks is, so blindness can run in the family? Short answer,
absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely it can. Not always. It depends on genetics and stuff. My condition is genetic. But again, loads of other people end up blind either through accidents or old age, diabetes, other things can happen. But yeah, it does. There is a possibility, depending on the specific brand of blindness you got. It can absolutely run in the family. For me, it runs on my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, I don't have any blindness in the family. Probably have contributed to the next generation of blindness due to both me and the ex being blind, but won't get into that. But
yeah. So it is possible because I have it. It is possible that if I were to have a kid, it is very possible that they could also have it.
Said which flavor of blindness do you got kinda answer?
Yeah.
exactly.
Basically. It's like going to Baskin Robbins, tons of flavors, so many to choose from.
The Baskin Robbins, yes. And
I
it's
want ice
literally
cream
just as
now.
weird as Baskin Robbins. So
Yeah. But yeah, I guess the short answer to that one is yes. And the last question I happen to have on here, again, chat, feel free to contribute if you are so inclined. Although it is almost 8 p.m., so we might be good, actually.
yeah.
So, one question that was asked by Dark Absol, who, again, we have not seen in a while, is Braille the same for every country?
No.
Definitely, yeah, like, I know... Just because, like, other languages have, like, different, like, accented letters and stuff like that, there are definitely differences.
Oh yeah. So
A lot are very
to that point,
similar, but carry on.
yep. So obviously, Braille is just like sign language. American Sign Language is not English Sign Language.
Right.
And before, American Braille was not English Braille, but now there's UEB, and we are not going to get on that soapbox. Not going to get on that soapbox. But when I was learning Spanish, for the most part, the differentiation in Spanish, because of accents, was that could not use contractions.
Mm.
So instead, so everything was spelled out in grade one, which at least I found grade one to be highly annoying because of just so much. But learning the accents in Spanish, that was a fun time. Accent A is the up sign in English Braille.
Ah.
Accent E is the THE sign in
Well,
English
see, there's
Braille.
different E accents too, because like, there's different ones you can put over them. So like, it can get very confusing, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, if we're just doing a straight accented E, that would be a THE.
Well, again, it depends on are you talking about E acute, because there is no straight accented E. Like there are different accents.
Whichever E is used for emphasis in like the word telefono.
Yeah,
For
that's
example.
probably E acute then.
Okay. The accented I is the ST sign. Accented O is the ING sign. Accented
Again,
U was.
Again, it depends on the specific accent that you're using.
Well, I guess I would say E acute or O acute or whatever. And the U acute would be the with sign. And then, if you really want to have fun with
That's
it,
if you're comparing it to contracted braille, because sometimes contracted, yeah, that braille is confusing.
yeah. But my favorite one was the end with a tilde.
Oh yeah, the Enye.
The Enye was a ER sign. So I love the Enye.
Yeah, so like
Same.
the ER, the of signs and stuff that Sabby is talking about, she's talking about basically the equivalent to shorthand, but in braille.
Yeah.
Where you'll
Yeah,
use
exactly.
different symbols or even letters to signify different words or parts of words and stuff like that to kind of make it take up less space.
Exactly.
You know, kind of like how some people in print, when they're when they're taking notes, they'll use ampersand for and, which we do in braille as well, or at sign for at.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
a backwards Z is basically the word.
Backwards Z.
Backwards Z is the.
Backwards Z.
I'm not. It's Z,
It's Z.
ma'am. All right, so that's that's the sign. That's the sign for the. It is the word. It is an X in contracted
Yes,
braille
it is.
and stuff
Yes,
like
it
that.
is.
It's basically just to shorten things up and make things more concise and stuff. So some of those same symbols will cross over into accents and stuff. So it can get. It's a lot, honestly.
It is.
It is a lot. You are making hundreds, if not millions, of combinations of things in 6 dots, in 6 dot characters.
Yep.
So sometimes you even have to split things up into multiple characters. So
Exactly.
and again, that'll vary from region to region depending on what it is, what language it is you're working with. So basically,
The short answer
yeah.
is yes. Yep. The short answer
Basically,
is
yeah.
yes.
Just, same as print, essentially.
Yep.
But yeah, that is all the questions that we had written down, which actually ended up, amounting to a lot more than I thought there would be, to be completely real.
Yeah, but all things considered, with it pushing 8 for you, 7 for me, that is not bad.
Yeah, considering we started at 5.
Did stay on time. Yeah, we actually stayed on time. So
I'm definitely gonna go ahead and call this a success.
I am as well. And
So
of course, if you all have any more questions, you can always find me or Minnie, and we will be happy to
100%.
answer.
If you have any questions now, feel free to ask, and we can, you know,
Tater
we can
35
ask or we can answer real quick
said it
before we
helps
head
I
off.
kept saying BS.
I mean, we got a little bit distracted at parts, but that's okay. It happens.
With Simeon
I was expecting it.
said how durable is Braille? I could imagine it getting worn
Not
down to
very.
the point the words or meaning changes.
It absolutely can, yeah. So
Absolutely.
Braille is typically written on basically something resembling cardstock. So it can eventually get rubbed down and erased over time and stuff like that. There are Braille labels you can get that are basically where the Braille is embossed on basically plastic. So those tend to be more durable, or thermoform paper that tends to be more durable as well. Sometimes it's literally molded into signs that are posted on walls. Those like pretty much never fade. So it really depends on what it's printed on. But yeah, it can definitely get like if you're writing writing Braille on like a regular piece of paper, that thing's gonna get crushed on your finger like instantly.
Having played cards with Braille, there have been many interesting times where I have.
Cards will generally last a long time though if you Braille them. Those
Yeah, they
tend to
will.
last a long time. They do fade eventually, but not nearly as much as other stuff would.
Regular paper. Yeah. No, that's fair. But
So yeah, you know, because I have a couple sets of tarot cards that I've brailled and stuff that haven't quite faded yet. To be fair, I don't use them very often, but yeah, I've kind of gravitated to the other ones I have that aren't brailled just because I like the art better. But
Tater 35
you know,
said I could make 3D printed blind craft business cards.
you absolutely could, and those would pretty much never fade.
totally.
Those would never
Totally.
fade. That would be cool. But yeah, give me a second. I need a drink.
But yeah, it has been a great time.
It has
Y'all
been a
have been a great
fantastic
audience.
time.
Yep, y'all have been a great audience. I am grateful to Minnie for the invitation.
Absolutely. Thank you for doing this with me. Greatly appreciate it.
Of course, I do know that part of the reason why they invited me was that I could actually pay attention to a streamer there, but that's a whole other thing.
Now, I figure if anyone was going to be a good person to have on here, it'd be you. But I think we are going to wrap up for the
Swift
night.
Simeon
I got to get me some dinner.
said just to point out quickly that Star Trek had that blind guy with the visor.
Yes, Geordie LaForge. I
That is true.
fucking adore Geordie LaForge.
_ heavens.
Absolutely adore
said
him.
later.
But yeah, before we head out, I'm going to drop my usual links in chat. First link is my Discord. Feel free to join that if you have more questions. We have a whole section dedicated to disability chats. So feel free
Swift
to
Simeon
share your thoughts or questions
said
in there.
thanks for stream and answering questions.
Absolutely. Always happy to. The second thing I will do is I will shout out Simon in chat yet again.
You rock!
Give me a second.
Amazing
Go
job.
check
earlier
out
today.
at Simon Uma on YouTube.
Yeah, he absolutely
He's
killed
pretty
it
rad.
with interviewing Derek Stephen Prince earlier. So definitely go over there, give him some love. I believe he's streaming right now, possibly.
Yeah, he is. He and Tifa are basically doing a reaction show to the show earlier. So
Got you. Okay. So yeah, head over there, give him some
Tater
love.
35 said Savvy, are you a person who likes to play Minecraft or is able to?
like I am intrigued, able to, no, because of lack of equipment.
Yeah, unfortunate. But maybe someday we'll get you on there.
When I get a computer and when I get my own space and place, I absolutely will be a Minecrafter, and then I will wonder why did I get myself addicted to this.
Hell yeah. But in addition to what Simon is doing right now on Saturday and Sunday, Me, him, and
Tater
Tifa will be
35
streaming Danganronpa 2
said I was gonna
and
say if you
Danganronpa
were
1
able to, I can
respectively.
add you on Blindcraft.
Yeah, no, she unfortunately doesn't have the ability to play it right now, which is a massive bummer. But yes, swing by to Simon's channel for Danganronpa on Saturday and Sunday, as well as going by today. Give him some love. And if you like the music that you've been hearing for the entire stream, please go support Useless Irving.
Go check out Useless Irving.
Make his day. I'm sure he would love having y'all around and just enjoying the cool stuff that he's made and worked very, very hard on. But yeah, that's gonna be it from us for today, everybody. Thank you so much for hanging around.
Tater 35.
Next week we're gonna
I'm
get back to
probably
Pokemon.
Gonna be streaming tomorrow for the Lego set.
Oh, very cool, very cool. Depending on what goes down tomorrow, because I'm a little busy tomorrow, depending on what goes down, I might tune in for at least a little bit. But yeah, that's going to be it from us for today, everybody. Thank you for hanging around. Thank you again, Savvy, for joining me. It has been awesome.
Thank you for the invitation.
When we get back next week, we will get back to Pokemon, and things will be a little bit more normal around here, kind of.
Because they want to be the very best, like no one ever was.
Damn straight. But for now, have yourselves a great rest of your night, and we'll catch you next time. Bye!
Bye!